Om Satyam Param Dhimai. Om Satyam Param Dhimai. Om Satyam Param Dhimai. Om Satyam Param Dhimai. Om Satyam Param Dhimai.
Which belongs to the sun. It is the same light. Somewhere within us is the spiritual sun. We call it Atma, we call it Gayatri, we call it whatever we want to call it. Any religion can call it anything. The science will not change. That spiritual sun is inside and its ray has come out, and that ray moves through my eyes, it moves through my skin, it moves through my tongue, it moves through the five senses of action. It moves through the five senses of understanding. What is that ray? That is the attention. So attention is divine. It is that divinity, the divine fragment. Everything else is Prakruti. Attention is Purush. You get what I'm trying to say? Am I coming up clear? Now the sun cannot be seen. It's one cloud after the other, and we'll see that these clouds which cover the sun are just our own sanskars. We have made them. Just it is so we have only one ray of light in our lives, and that is attention. That is the only light we have in our lives. And if that attention is not in our lives, then what happens to our life? If the sun's ray is not there, then there is darkness. There is darkness. Similarly, if that spiritual light of attention is not in our lives, then there is darkness within our lives. And we will see that this light of attention is not in our lives. That's why there is darkness. That is why we are blind. That is why we are withdrawn. My teacher has written one book called Education for Attention. How to educate that attention. Now, in the old days in Crete, there's a mythological story that there was a king called Minos. And Minos built a huge maze on the island of Crete. And his thing was that anybody who commits any offense, कोई गुनाह करता है, he would be taken and put into the maze, and he would not find his way outside. वो उधर गुम हो जाएगा, मर जाएगा. He would die inside. So one guy, he comes and he has this huge bundle of string. So he ties the string outside, and then he's taken by the guards inside the maze. And then he's left there to die, but he has the string so he can find his way outside. Similarly, that inner sun, we don't know where it is. I'll say it is in one small center called Bindu over here. That doesn't mean anything. But we have one string, and if we catch that string and go back from where the string started, then we find the sun. And that string is our attention. If we can catch the string of attention, take it back to the source, where has this attention come from? Then we can find what we are looking for, that Atma inside, that divinity inside. We have only one string to find it, our attention. And that attention we misuse completely. Okay, now let's just see how important it is for us to do this. Supposing there is a plant, what does Darwin say? Darwin says that the waves of the ocean, they hit against the shores, foam was left there, the waves went back into the ocean, the foam remained on the sand, and from that foam, the first plant, the first form of what we call life grew in that. And what quality did that plant have? That plant, the first form of vegetation which grew, it came out and it found that it needed to make its food, it needed the rays of the sun, so it would pay attention to the sun. Right? It started using that divine with light, that divine ray of attention came. The seed did not have attention. But that divine ray of attention came with life. It could pay attention to the sun. It could throw its roots where there were nutrients. So it could take those nutrients. It could pay attention. This was how life came to those plants. Science calls this response to stimuli. You get what I'm trying to say? It responds to stimuli. But the plant at no time could sense that where is this attention coming from. It could look for its food, it could look for its sunlight. If it was a bisexual plant, it could find a way of propagation of the species, by attaching to some other plant or something. But it never had this choice within it to go back. Where has this attention come from? Where is this ray of light which fills my whole life with light, which gives me food and life and everything? Where has this ray come from? That plant could never find out. And then Darwin says, from the plants the animals came. First there was a layer where something was, whether it is a plant or whether it is an animal, he calls it the crustaceans, the prawns, the krill, the in-between layer. We don't know whether they are plants or animals, and then the animals came. And then the animals also had attention. The animals looked for their shelter. Where is my home, my shelter? Where is my female or male? How to propagate the species? Where is my food? Food, sex and shelter. The animals look, but the animal again could not find, did not have that capacity to find where this attention came from. But when man came on this earth, something else came with man, and that was man could pay attention outside and he could pay attention inside. For the first time, attention could move back from where it came. In the plants, this is not possible. In the animals, this is not possible. Only in man is this possible, that the attention can move back from where it came. This is very important. So man comes with a different duty. He comes with an added responsibility. He has this responsibility of doing an act and being aware that I am doing this. Because his attention goes out to the mind, it goes to the mind, I speak, but at the same time I can turn the attention inside and say that I am aware that I am speaking this. When the attention turns inwards, we call it awareness or awakening. It is the beginning of awareness. Why are we running so much around for meditation? Teach me this technique, teach me that. The whole thing is how to turn the attention inside. So when the attention turns inside, we gain more and more awareness. And one day, if that attention reaches the source. So we will start this beautiful book, this Mahan Shastra of the Gita, with where our attention is. It will tell us where we start. And our attention today is stuck everywhere in things of the outside. We have that vestige of the animals within us. The animals' attention could go only outside. So food, shelter, sex. It's man's attention goes outside all the time. He spends his whole life looking for food, shelter, and sex. He never even once thinks about turning this attention inside, turning it inward. Have I been clear? This one, is it clear? You get tired? Yes, sir.
हिंदी में क्या समझा मेरा?
थोड़ा बहुत हिंदी में। ये मैं कहता हूँ, जो हमारे पास सबसे कीमती चीज है वो हमारा ध्यान है। और ध्यान किसका है? वो अंदर का आत्म तत्व का ध्यान। वो ध्यान हमारे पास है तो जीवन अगर बाहर वो ध्यान कहीं न कहीं फंसक गया, अटक गया, तो चिपक गया, तो हमारे जीवन में प्रकाश का अभाव है। तो आंख खुला है, हम देख सकते हैं, फिर भी हम धृतराष्ट्र की स्थिति में है। You will all recite the Gita? All of you will recite at home? So we'll start the first sloka, we'll recite together the first sloka. Okay? Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. The king Dhritarashtra asked, "O Sanjay, what happened on the sacred battlefield of Kurukshetra when my people gathered against the Pandavas?" Dhritarashtra. Dhrit means to hold. Rashtra means the kingdom. The one who has possessed the inner kingdom. When darkness has totally taken possession of our lives, there is no light in the inner kingdom. The attention is totally seduced outside. And if the attention is seduced outside, if it is held outside, then there is darkness inside, and a blind king has taken possession of that inner kingdom. He holds it completely. We are Dhritarashtra. That is Dhritarashtra, the one who possesses the inner kingdom. Now, where is our attention? Okay. Now let us try to understand what is the meaning of spirit, soul, attention. We'll take these three words, then things will become a little more clear. Spirit is the sun. That ray of light which comes out of the sun is the sun. Right? But the sun is not there, so the ray of light has separated from the sun. That is the soul. And that soul is the sun, but it has forgotten it is the sun. And why has it forgotten? Because its light has been taken away. We are sitting in Nehru Stadium. What did Nehruji say when Gandhiji died in his speech? The light has gone out of our lives. Right? He says. So the soul is light, but there is no light left. So it does not know that it is the soul. It is in a state of delusion. It forgets that it is the soul. It is a state of delusion. So that light of the Atma, the spirit, it has come out. The Atma is covered up due to some grahan, some eclipse. We don't know why. It is covered due to the eclipse, and that light which is the soul is stuck everywhere. In Hindi we say कि मेरा जीव कहाँ है? जीव का जीव और जीव जीव कहाँ? जीव यानी सोल। यात्रा कौन करता है? आत्मा नहीं करता है। The spirit does not journey, it is the soul which journeys. वो जीव करता है। अभी देखते हैं कि वो attention कहाँ है? Where is my attention? मेरा जी कहाँ जलता है? मेरा attention वहाँ चिपक गया है। If something happens to my bank balance, does it happen to the bank balance or does it happen to me? If somebody takes away all my bank balance or I lose it all in the stock market, does it happen to the bank balance or it happens to? Happens to me, right? So मैं क्या करता हूँ? मेरा जी जल रहा है, क्या कहते हैं हिंदी में? मेरा जी जल रहा है। मैं क्या कहता हूँ? My attention is stuck in the bank balance. My soul is stuck in the bank balance. There is no light inside. There is no light inside. So if something happens to the bank balance, it happens to me. The attention is stuck over there. My attention is not free. You understanding what I'm saying? Or if I buy a house, I will not say that 20 years ago somebody else lived in this house. After 20 years somebody else will live. I'll say this is my house. I'll say this is my money, my house. My means my attention is stuck. My attention is stuck. And if something happens to that house, an earthquake comes, it will happen to me. So when we do Gayatri, what do we say? Om Bhu Bhuva Swaha. We are saying the Bhulok, in all the physical universe, my attention, wherever it is stuck, I am taking back my attention. Anything can happen to the bank balance, but nothing should happen to me. Then my attention is not stuck. Then the light is with me. Otherwise the light is in the bank balance. You get what I'm trying to say? Taking back of attention is called Vairagya. Not running away to the Himalayas or wearing Bhagwa Kapra is Vairagya. Taking back of the attention is Vairagya. And I want to go for a big journey, the inner journey, to find the spirit. If I want to go to the Himalayas, what do? I make all arrangements. And I have so much of money to go. But this money is my attention, and I have no money to move on the inner journey. Because all my attention is stuck in so many things. My car, my home, my money, my this, my that. You get what I'm trying to say? It's stuck in so many things. But this is the physical universe. The Rishi says, Om Bhu Bhuva. Even in Bhuva Lok, your attention is stuck. Your attention is stuck. And where is it stuck? I'll say, this is my wife. She must do what I tell her to do. Of course, nowadays it doesn't work that way. But, right, she must do what I tell her to do, right? Or I say, my son, I've decided that he must marry this girl. So, and if he doesn't do it, if he doesn't do his homework, or if he fails in the exam, what will happen? Right? My attention is stuck in that relationship. I say he is my son. Dhritarashtra starts this way. What are my children doing on the battlefield? He's telling us how attention gets stuck. No, Khalil Gibran says, your children are not your children. They are the children of tomorrow. They come through you. They say, you are just the doors for them to allow them to come. But nobody will say, we are the door. They'll say, my son, and he better pass it in the exam. And he better do better than somebody else's son. Right? My attention is stuck there. If something happens to my son, mera ji jalta hai, my soul, that is because my attention is stuck there. So, in relationships, if my friend calls me for dinner, he must not call him for dinner. Right? And he must not talk to him without asking me, because he is my friend, not his friend. Right? So my attention is stuck in relationships, Bhuvalok. In Bhuvalok, in so many places in relationships. And in Swahalok, in my thoughts, attention, I'll say this is my country. What is this country? Is just a thought. God never made any country. I'll say, this is my country and this is my flag. And I do only this. I live by this principle and I live by that principle. We'll see. Bhishma lived by a principle. Principle means death. Shri Krishna lived by no principle. And whatever the situation demanded, he was willing to do. But Bhishma lived by a principle. Right? And people have all sorts of imaginary principles. And they live by, their attention is stuck. I do only this. Right? I only eat carrots for breakfast. What we said in the beginning, our attention is stuck on three things: food, shelter, and sex. Why have you come here? To learn the exercise so that your health can be good. You live a little few more years. हमारे राम दुलारे बापू कहते थे कि जीवन को उम्र से भर देने की बजाय उम्र को जीवन से भर दो. But this whole culture of ours, how to eat 5 more vitamins so we can live 5 more years. What are the quality of the God knows. Quality of life, nobody's bothered. Quality of thought, nobody's bothered. Everybody's sitting in meditation. Stop the thought, stop the thought. But first change the quality of thought. So attention is stuck in the physical universe, in the astral universe, relationships, in the mental universe of thoughts. Don't worry about the sounds. If you read Ouspensky's In Search of the Miraculous, Ouspensky came in contact with his teacher in 1912, Gurdjieff. And the first time he came to meet Gurdjieff, it was in a small lane, and there was a coffee shop, a chai khana. And Gurdjieff was sitting in that chai khana. And there was a lot of noise because everybody had come there to drink tea, and they were sitting on all the tables and drinking tea. And here Gurdjieff was sitting and drinking tea. And as the noise would grow louder, Gurdjieff would start talking softer and more softly. So that Ouspensky had to pay extra attention to listen. I had to pay extra attention to listen. Gurdjieff was a difficult master, very, very difficult master. He used to call me, to say that, okay, Saturday morning, 7:30 there is a meeting. 7:30 everybody would come, he would not be there. Then he'll say, okay, day after tomorrow, 6:30 in the evening is a meeting, he would not be there. Then first 20 people would come, then 10 people would come, then 5 people would come, then by the 5th time only 1 or 2 people would, then he will start his lecture. That was how Gurdjieff used to work. So, if there's some sound from outside, just pay extra attention. Don't worry about the sound. Anyway, so our attention is stuck in the 3 universes. जो यात्रा करना है, अध्यात्म का यात्रा करना है, जब तक ध्यान की मूली मेरे पास नहीं है, ध्यान की पूंजी मेरे पास नहीं है, तब तक यात्रा नहीं हो सकती. वो एक ही पूंजी है यात्रा करने के लिए. और ऐसा मत सोचो कि आप कहेंगे कि हाँ मेरा गुरु ये है, मेरा भगवान ये है, मेरा ये है, मैं ये मंदिर में जाता हूँ, और मैं कहूँगा कि आपका गुरु बोगस है, तो आपको क्या होगा? आपको भीतर कुछ होगा नहीं. इसका मतलब क्या है कि अटेंशन गुरु में चिपक गया कि आपके पास है? हाँ, इसका मतलब है कि अटेंशन गुरु में चिपक गया. अभी गुरु को बनाया किस लिए था? उसको बताने के लिए कि अटेंशन मुझ में मत चिपकाओ, हाँ तुम भीतर ले लो. इसलिए दैट इज व्हाई वी वेंट टू द गुरु फॉर द फर्स्ट प्लेस. We went to him to learn how to take our attention back to us, but our attention got stuck with the guru. And this is what happens everywhere. And then the guru does the business, right? So now Dhritarashtra starts with this. Dhritarashtra dharma kshetre kurukshetre. Now within this body-brain system, which is the Dharma Kshetra, which is the Kurukshetra? Kshetra means the field. the field of doing, the field of dharma. Dharma means law, dharma means nature. The field of nature, the field of doing. Two fields within us. We are made of two electromagnetic fields. Right? What does homeopathy, anybody practices homeopathy? What does homeopathy say? That there are two electromagnetic fields. Right? And each field works with the other. When I am very angry, both the fields are stuck to each other. I am very angry on him. He has said something, right? Both my fields are stuck to the other. But if I am in a good state of meditation, if I am at peace, if I am relaxed, not tense, then the fields are separate. There's a little separate. Right? Now some germs come from outside. He has a cold, I do not have a cold. He does not have a cold, but I say he has a cold and I do not have a cold. Right? So the germs of his cold come to my electromagnetic field, and the field takes the shape of that cold. But which field? The outside field. Right? But if I'm in tension, what happens? Both the fields are stuck. So immediately the inner field also takes the germs of the cold, the shape of the cold. So I get cold. Not only he has cold, I also get the cold. But if I'm relaxed, if both the fields are separate, then the outside field takes the cold, but it cannot pass it down to the inner field. I do not get cold. This happens with all diseases. The more tense we are, the more angry we are, the more complaining we are, the fields are stuck together. In yoga, we learn to detach the fields. And if the fields detach 2-3 inches, then we don't get angry, never get angry. And if they start detaching 4 inches, 5 inches, 9 inches, then the physical and the astral separate. They become separate anyway. So, now what is he saying in the first sloka? Dharma kshetra, the field of dharma and the field of doing. Kuru means to do. Kuru. Kuru kshetra. Kuru means to do. Karma ka kshetra or dharma ka kshetra. Dharma yani prakruti ka kshetra, karma ka kshetra. Acha, now let us look at both these. The eyes see. The eyes see. So the dharma of the eyes is to see. The nature of the eyes is to see. Right? I see a tree. I see a tree. So we are 3 people. One is a carpenter, one is a poet, and one is a painter. And 3 of us see the same tree. So the nature of the dharma of the eyes is to see. So the carpenter will also see, the poet will also see, the painter will also see, the artist, I won't use the word painter, the artist will also see. Right? So, seeing तो nature सबका ये लेकिन उसमें से क्या बनाया, गुरु क्या बनाया, कर्म क्या बनाया, कर्म का क्षेत्र क्या बनाया, the क्षेत्र, the field of doing क्या बनाया. The carpenter will say, अरे this tree has so much of good wood in it. I want to have this tree in my workshop. I'll cut this tree, take it to my workshop. तो धर्म आँख का देखना, लेकिन उसमें से कर्म का क्षेत्र जो बनाया, कुरुक्षेत्र. I want this tree. What will the poet say? The poet will say, oh, the flowers of this tree are filling the whole universe. The smell is filling the whole, the scent is filling the whole universe, the perfume is filling the whole universe. And he'll write a poem on that. Dekha, the dharma was the same. So, similarly with the artist, he'll say, oh, the branches are trying to reach the sky. They are not reaching, I'll paint them, they'll reach God. Right? The painter, what is the painter trying to say? He's saying that the branches of the tree are trying to reach God, but they can't reach God, so let me make a painting where I show they reach God. I fulfill the desire of the tree, right? So that is what the artist will say. So, all 3 have seen the tree. The nature of the eyes, the dharma of the eyes is to see, but all 3 have different thoughts about the tree. The Kurukshetra is different. This is what makes us individuals. Something is common, the Dharma Kshetra, the Kurukshetra. Now, can we make the Kurukshetra the Dharma Kshetra? Can we make the Kurukshetra? Some laws are natural. Some laws are natural. There's a natural law of breathing. That is why we try to teach you 3-step rhythmic breathing. There is a natural law of breathing. There's a natural law of seeing. See, if we go into the Yoga Sutra, what does Patanjali say? Tada drashtu swarupe vasthanam. पूरा योग एक ही चीज पे खड़ा है. पूरा योग ये देखने की क्रिया जो है, ये क्या है, वो क्या होता है? What happens when I am seeing? What is the process of seeing? Do I see the tree? Do I see the tree? What do I see? Do I see the tree? What does yoga say? Do I see the tree? Yoga says that there is something inside which goes, takes the shape of the tree, comes back within the brain and it vibrates as per the original. It vibrates as per the original. What I see is not the original tree. I see the image created inside the brain. Yoga calls this image as vritti. Vritti yoga, yogaschitta vritti nirodha. Can that vritti be stopped? Can the seeing be direct? Can the seeing be pure? So Dharma Kshetra and Kurukshetra are one. Otherwise, if I have seen what I want to see, like the carpenter saw what he wanted to see, the artist saw what he wanted to see, the poet saw what he wanted to see, then the Dharma Kshetra and the Kurukshetra are separate. But if I can align just with the process of seeing, just with the sensitivity of being a seer, not seeing this or seeing that, you get what I'm trying to say? The pure process of seeing, then the Dharma Kshetra and the Kurukshetra are one. The whole art of yoga is how to make the Kurukshetra the Dharma Kshetra. That is what we will go into now. So he says, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha. Samaveta means come together. On this plane, on this battlefield of Kurukshetra, which is the Dharma Kshetra, which has formed out of these 5 senses, their nature of doing their activities, their natural activities, this Kurukshetra, this Kshetra of life has been formed. Who have come together with the desire of battle, Yuyutsava, with the desire to do battle, Mamakaha, mine, Mamakaha, mine, Pandav Ascheva, and Pandu's sons. What did they do, O Sanjay? O Sanjay, what did they do on the battlefield? Now it's a very interesting story. The whole of the Gita is in past tense. It is in past tense. He's not asking, the king is not asking, what are they doing? He's saying, what did they do? What did they do? He's asking, what did they do? It's very, very important. Now, when we go into the Mahabharata, how did the Gita start? On the 10th day of the war, Bhishma fell down. Arjun's arrows went into Bhishma and he fell on the bed of arrows. He did not die. He died at Uttarayan. We'll go into that later. He died at Uttarayan. So he fell on this bed of arrows and somebody comes to Dhritarashtra and tells him that, O king, Bhishma has fallen down. And he gets a shock. He gets a shock. Because how is it possible that the warrior who was invincible, who could not be defeated, जिसको कभी हारा ही नहीं सकता है, the one who cannot be defeated, how has he been defeated? See, the name of this chapter is Arjuna Vishad yoga. The name of this chapter is Arjuna Vishad. Vishad means pain. Vishad means sorrow. Vishad means despondency. In our lives, a lot of sorrow comes. Somebody's death happens. We lose money in business. This happens, that happens. Sorrow comes as a shock. This sorrow has come to the blind king Dhritarashtra to wake him up. But he doesn't wake up. But if we wake up from that sorrow, then we can turn that sorrow into yog. Arjun, विषाद योग. सबके जीवन में विषाद तो आता है, कोई ऐसा निकलता है जो विषाद को योग में परिणमित करता है. So, to turn that vishad, that sorrow into yoga, we'll see each thing. So this king gets this news that Dhritarashtra has fallen, and he gets a shock, and his eyes open a little. He asks Sanjay, "Oh Sanjay, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do on the battlefield?" It is after 10 days. So the Gita ji was said twice. Once when Shri Krishna told it to Arjuna, and 10 days later when Sanjay tells it to Dhritarashtra. The version we have is not what Krishna told to Arjuna. We have the version which Sanjay told to Dhritarashtra. But if we can make the Kurukshetra, the Dharmakshetra, if we can bring about that transformation within ourselves, then within ourselves, if we become Arjuna, then Shri Krishna sitting inside will tell us the original version which he told to Arjuna. Now, on the path, how do we start the path? How do we move? What is our first movement on the path? It is always in retrospect. In retrospect. मैं कहूंगा आपको कि जब भी आपको गुस्सा आता है, आप जरा ध्यान दो, गुस्सा से अलग हो जाओ, गुस्सा का साक्षी बन जाओ. बात क्या है? बहुत बात बड़ी नहीं है. तो आप कहेंगे भाई साहब ये होता नहीं है, जब गुस्सा आता है तब साक्षी नहीं है, और जब साक्षी है तब गुस्सा नहीं है. इसलिए ऑल मेडिटेशन इज यूजलेस. मेडिटेशन करके क्या करेंगे? जब गुस्सा नहीं, साक्षी है तब गुस्सा नहीं है, और जब गुस्सा है तब साक्षी नहीं है. क्या करें? गुस्सा भी हो और साक्षी भी हो, आप ऐसे कहेंगे. तो ऑल साधना स्टार्ट्स इन रेट्रोस्पेक्ट. रेट्रोस्पेक्ट यानी मुझे सुबह उसके ऊपर गुस्सा आया था, वो क्या हुआ? उस किंग Bhishma has fallen on the battlefield. वो संजय को पूछता है कि what did my children and the children of Pandu do? वो सुबह उसके ऊपर गुस्सा आया था. Past tense. आप समझते हैं मेरी बात को? साधना की शुरुआत ही past tense में होती है. सुबह उसके ऊपर आया था. अभी भीतर का संजय जग गया. तो पहले हम धृतराष्ट्र हैं. दूसरी हमारी चेतना की जो अवस्था है is संजय. Sanjay is the one who sees in retrospect, who sees what has happened early in the morning. Every day at night, if I can see, what did I do today? Whom did I get angry on? Now, we have to understand Sanjay. Sanjay किसका आदमी है? He is Dhritarashtra's man. लेकिन वो धृतराष्ट्र के चमचागिरी नहीं करता है. धृतराष्ट्र की चमचागिरी नहीं करता. He won't say things which Dhritarashtra likes. He will say exactly what he sees, what he has seen. He will not add anything or subtract anything. If I see that उसके साथ गुस्सा हुआ सुबह, he got angry on me in the morning, I got angry on him in the morning, will I add or subtract anything? Will I add or subtract anything? I will add and subtract. I'll say he was at fault. He had no right to get angry on me. Who is he? To get angry on me. Then I have added and then I am not Sanjay. तो अभी संजय का जन्म नहीं हुआ. That inner Sanjay has not been born. But the inner Sanjay will say, "Nay, you got angry. Now relive that anger. Relive without any judgment. No judgment." Kya hoga? What will happen? If I relive, what will happen? If I relive, what will happen? See, I made a nice house, so you will come to visit me at my house, right? And I'll say, okay, oh, look at this room, look at that room, look at this room, okay? And you'll say, okay, I like this house. Then tomorrow you will come to visit me again. Then I'll say, oh, I made a nice house, look at this room, look at that room, look at this room. And you'll say, yesterday I've seen it. But if you feel like, making me happy, you won't say it one time. But again, third day you will come and visit me. Again I'll say, I made a nice house. Look at this room, look at that room. Then what will you say? You say, I've seen it all. मैंने देख लिया सब. ऐसे बोलेंगे ना? देख लिया. आप नहीं कहेंगे कि फिर से मैं देखना चाहता हूँ. Right? Why doesn't it happen with anger? Yesterday you got angry, day before you got irritated, day before that you got irritated, day before that it happened. You never say, I've seen this room so many times, why am I seeing it again? Because at that time none of us remember, okay, I have seen this room. That time the anger is new. You get what I'm trying to say? Everybody, हर बार वो गुस्सा नया ही है. But all our life is just a form of repetition. Nobody lives tomorrow. Everybody lives yesterday. The same anger, the same complaining, same irritation, the same jealousy, the same thoughts. No new thoughts come. Nothing new happens in our lives. We are just ghosts of the past. Every moment we are living in the past. Because the same thing is being repeated and we do not even know. We live in that illusion that we are doing something new. Isko Maya कहते हैं. You get what I'm trying to say? Because at that time there is nobody to tell me, Arey, you have got angry thousands of times before. You have seen this room thousands of times before. What is the point in seeing this room again? You will say, Arey, I'm bored of getting angry. I've seen this room. Why should I get angry? Right? But we don't remember at that time. So for sadhana, we have to create a new memory, a new form of memory. And the creation of that memory is the birth of Sanjay in our lives. He tells me, in the morning you got angry, now relive that anger even for a few seconds. Go into that anger. No judgment that he was wrong or I was right. No judgment. Just relive. Let the cells of the body relive that anger. Let the blood system relive that anger. Let the inner sensitivity, the energies relive that anger. Let the blood pressure relive that anger. And go into that anger and become one with it again. And a new memory will be formed. Do this for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. And then tomorrow I get angry on him. Suddenly that new memory will come. You have been angry before. I'll say, I don't want to be angry. This is Sanjay. The creation of new memory. Gurdjieff calls this as work memory. Work memory. साधना की स्मृति. वो साधना की स्मृति अलग बनानी पड़ती है. और वो तब तक नहीं बनेगी जब तक संजय का जन्म हमारा जीवन में नहीं होता है. जब तक हम धृतराष्ट्र है वो नहीं बनेगी. You're understanding all this, what I'm saying? So he says, Dharma kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta, Yuyutsava with the desire of fighting Mamaka, mind. Now this mind is a very, very difficult thing to explain. I explain in the form of attention in the physical universe, the astral universe, the mental universe. My things, my relationships, my thoughts. But it goes deeper than that, much more deeper than that. I'll say my moods, my thoughts, my emotions, it goes deeper than that. Let us try to understand it. What happens with the word mind? What happens with the word mind? I say, he is my son. I say, he is my son. Means my attention is stuck. There is no light. inside. But if I say he is his son, do I see him with the same eyes as I see my son? No, it is not possible. The eyes are different, right? If somebody slaps my son, then something will happen to him. Somebody slaps somebody else's son, I may laugh also, right? Okay, so with this word my, the attention is stuck outside, there is blindness inside. This my we call as attachment. I attach. What do I attach? You understand the word attachment? I am attached to my son. I am attached to my car. I am attached to my bank balance. That means my attention is stuck over there. Now we'll go a little deeper into this word my. Why? How does it bring this kind of blindness inside? All of you have studied hypnosis. Heard of hypnosis? I get hypnotized. The hypnotizer, hypnotist, he takes away my conscious mind, right? And he tells me that you do this, you do that. He put a coal in my hand and say you're not getting burned, so I won't feel burned, right? Now, this attachment of I means the seduction of attention, seducing of I, hypnosis of I. Supposing I say I am very happy. I am very happy. Okay, after 5 minutes I get a news. My son has failed in the exam. Okay, so what will I say? I am very happy he's failed in the exam. What will I say? I'll say I am very sad. I am very sad. The same I who was happy 5 minutes ago is now sad. I will not say that I is I and happiness is happiness and sadness is sadness. I will not say that. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay, let's take it in another way. What inner sensitivity do I have of I? Tell me anything, and you will always attach it to something. You will say, I am happy, I am sad, I am in depression, I am anxious, I am in a hurry, I am this, I am that. You will not say, there is hurry and I am watching that hurry. The feeling of I is always attached to some thought, some emotion. My, mamakaha pandavaschaiva kim akurvata sanjaya. Kim akurvata sanjaya. What did they do? Mind. What did mind do? This mind is the attaching of I. You understand what I'm trying to say? See, it's like the waves in the ocean. The waves in the ocean. One wave is of sadness. One wave is of happiness. But when I am sad, I don't say this sadness is also made of water, the happiness is also made of water. I don't say that. Right? I say I am sad, I am happy. You get what I'm trying to say? Or I am in pain. Right? Now the whole aim of adhyatma, of sadhana is only one, to be free of life. To free that I from this wave. To free the I out of the happiness, to free the I out of sadness. It does not matter whether there is happiness or sadness. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? हम गुरु के पास जाएंगे, अरे जरा अच्छा, इससे भी अच्छा गुरु, इससे भी अच्छा बंगला चाहिए, इससे भी अच्छी गाड़ी चाहिए, मैं जरा बीमार हूँ, मुझे ठीक कर दो. क्या जाएंगे गुरु के पास? आप समझते हैं? But it doesn't make any difference to the guru. For the guru, it does not make any difference. Either you are attached to happiness or you are attached to sadness. You are attached. For him, he has to teach you how to be free. Whether it is happiness or sadness, he is least bothered. On the contrary, if he is a real guru, he will give more sadness. It's not very easy to live with a guru. It's very, very difficult, a real guru, to live with him. Because he keeps on pouring, how much can this disciple of mine separate from? He'll give more and more torture in his life, more and more sadness in his life. And can he separate? Because life is life, and our whole aim is to be separate from life, whether it is happiness or sadness. हम कहेंगे कि इसके पास है, मेरे पास नहीं है, मैं बीमार हूं, वो बीमार नहीं है. I can say that. It does not make any difference. जो हैप्पी है उसको भी मुक्त होना है, जो सैड है उसको भी मुक्त होना है, जिसको दुख है उसको भी मुक्त होना है, जिसको सुख है उसको भी मुक्त होना है. जो लक्ष्य मुक्ति का है तो दोनों में से, ये आप समझते मेरी बात. तो this I gets attached to a certain feeling, to a certain thought, like it got attached to car, to emotions, to thought. You get my friends? So how I say I am, this is my happiness, this is my sun, this is my depression, this is my sadness, this is my pain. The I is attached. Now when the I starts separating, right, now the wave cannot take the I, so I start separating. This is the whole idea of meditation, to separate. See, बहुत लोग बहुत कुछ करते हैं, बहुत लोग बहुत कुछ करते हैं, और लोग आते हैं कि I've been meditating for 10 years and 20 years and so much and this, and I've been doing this yoga and that yoga and God knows what. Today the market is full of yogas. Everybody knows about business. In business, what do? We have a balance sheet. You have a balance sheet. You have a balance sheet and profit and loss account. Now if you are running a business, will you do business of profit or will you do business of loss? What will you do? Loss or profit? Profit. But adhyatma ka balance sheet ho to you are doing loss only. अच्छा, अभी बैलेंस शीट में क्या आता है? एसेट्स एंड लायबिलिटीज. क्या आता है? एसेट जमा उधार, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? एसेट्स एंड लायबिलिटीज. तो ये अध्यात्म का बैलेंस शीट में क्या लोगे? इन योर स्पिरिचुअल बैलेंस शीट व्हाट विल यू टेक? ऑन द क्रेडिट साइड एंड ऑन द डेबिट साइड व्हाट विल यू टेक? What will you take? You will say 10 years I've been doing meditation. Will it go on the credit side? Or 20 years I've been going to the temple and doing so much of puja. Will it go on the credit side? Nothing. Or I've done so much seva of my guru. I bought his glasses. I bought his Coca-Cola. I did this. I did that for him. Will that go on the credit side? That won't go on the credit side. So then what will show on the credit side? ये जिंदगी निकल गई, अभी क्रेडिट बताने के लिए आपके पास है क्या? बताओ मुझे. What will come on the credit side? आपने 20 साल मेडिटेशन किया और you are standing for the bus to go to office, and the bus, you are very late to go for office, and the bus comes 20 minutes late, and if you get irritated, and if you can separate from that irritation, okay, this is irritation, this is I, तो क्रेडिट हुआ. और वहां 20 साल मेडिटेशन किया या 200 जन्म मेडिटेशन किया, वहां इरिटेशन आ गया तो लॉस में धंधा चला गया, क्योंकि वो मेडिटेशन क्रेडिट पे नहीं आता है. ये एक ही मिनट वहां जो सेपरेट किया वही हुआ. आप समझते नहीं? दैट इज ऑल व्हिच इज इन क्रेडिट. माय वाइफ टेल्स मी समथिंग, आई गेट एंग्री. इफ आई सेपरेट फ्रॉम दैट एंगर, then I get a credit. But I will tell my wife, okay, now I want to do meditation, so I will not live with you. I will live in one room by myself. That has nothing to do with spirituality. Nothing to do with spirituality. Whether you run to ashram, whether you run to Himalayas, you wear 100 malas, 100 orange clothes, it makes no difference. Were you able to fight with that negativity? This is the war of Mahabharata, the dharma kshetra, kurukshetra. वो ही क्रेडिट में आता है, बाकी सब लॉस में चला जाता है. Then why am I doing meditation? Why am I doing this rhythmic breathing and these exercises? मैं एक दिन Mr. T को पूछा कि what is this we are doing? These are all rubbish we are doing. I didn't understand at that time. It took me many years for me to understand. It is rubbish. It is rubbish because it is not counted on the balance sheet. But it is necessary, because without it, I will not be able to fight the battle when that irritation comes when the bus is 20 minutes late. I cannot fight that battle. To fight that battle, that Mahabharata over there, at that time when the bus is late, I have to do all these practices. You get what I'm trying to say? Huh? That is why these practices are only net practice. Nothing else. Going to temple, doing bhajan, doing kirtan is only net practice. It never shows on the spiritual balance sheet. Only one thing will show. Have I separated from life, or has life hypnotized me? Have I woken up from life, or have I gone to sleep with life? मैं इरिटेट हो गया तो हिप्नोटाइज हो गया, और मैं इरिटेशन से अलग हो गया तो लाइफ हैज नॉट हिप्नोटाइज मी, आई एम सेपरेट. क्लियर ये बात हुआ? एंड इट मस्ट हैपन एवरीवेयर. स्टार्ट विद नेगेटिव थिंग्स. कोई गाली देता है, सेपरेट. अभी क्या होगा? नाउ टेल मी. अगेन वी आर रनिंग द सेम बिजनेस. नाउ टेल मी समथिंग मोर. टेल मी. मार्केटिंग में कौन है? मार्केटिंग में who is in marketing? In marketing you want to sell your product. You want to sell. Now we are in this business of spirituality. We are in the business of spirituality. So we want to have more and more opportunities to create credit on the balance sheet. तो क्या होगा? वो गाली देगा. There will be a feeling of I, and there will be a feeling of irritation as two separate experiences. Just now when I am irritated, I and irritation are hypnotized. They are one. You get what I am trying to say? I'll say I am irritated. Now I'll say I am I. हूँ की संवेदना अलग है, irritation की संवेदना अलग है. Two separate experiences at the same time. हूँ की संवेदना पुरुष है, इरिटेशन की संवेदना प्रकृति है. विवेक जग गया. तो संजय यू कैन डिवाइड कि ये है, ये है. This is I, and this is what I become. Now what will happen? The feeling of I slowly will never change. I may be happy, I may be sad, I may be feeling this, I may be highly excited, I may be, but if the I is separate, slowly within us, the feeling of I, the sensitivity of I will start becoming permanent. So one place inside us we will be living permanent, which never changes, and irritation will change, and happiness will change, and this will change. Life will change every moment. Within that, the inner observer who has separated, who has been free of the hypnosis of life, he will never change. He is always the same. This radical transformation in our lives. If this we can bring about, and for this we have to work. We have to work in our daily living. And the only place we can work is in our married life. The minute we run away from it, we cannot. Because the only opportunities, बीवी के सिवाय कौन opportunity दे? वो ऑफिस से थका हुआ आया, वही कहेगा ना कि ये यहाँ क्यों रखा और ये यहाँ क्यों रखा, और उस टाइम ही इरिटेशन. वही धंधा कर सकता है. अभी धंधा का मौका आ गया, करो बिजनेस. Start separating. The minute you complain, the minute you get irritated, the minute, then you're gone, you're hypnotized, you've gone to sleep. Whether you're awake, 5 इंद्रियों से आप देख रहे हो, सुन रहे हो, you are gone to sleep with the irritation. You are hypnotized. It is psychological sleep. We live our whole lives in this psychological sleep. That is why we are Dhritarashtra. Not for one moment do we awake, get awake. And we can only wake up when some vishad, some form of irritation, some form of dukh comes in our lives. That is the opportunity to wake up. Now we'll learn as we go ahead how to use these opportunities, how to move into this. We'll stop here. Dharma kshetre, kurukshetre, samaveta, yuyutsava, mamakaha, pandavaschaiva, kim kurvata, Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. Who are the Pandavas? Who are the Kauravas? We'll see in the anyway. Thank you.
Five senses. But is it a relationship of sensitiveness or sensitivity? Is my attention seduced through the five senses? This morning we talked about attention. Or is that attention in my control? Or is there sensitivity of what the five senses are seeing? If the attention is seduced, then what holds my attention? So I will see that for my attention to be aroused at any time, for myself to take any interest in life, to be aware of life, there must be excitement of my attention. Does it become clear? For me to become aware of anything, supposing I don't speak anything which holds your attention, you will start feeling sleepy. Or if I start saying something which you have heard many, many times, you will start getting bored. So, our attention is trained to go out, and it is trained to go out because of excitement. Our whole lives, we depend upon excitement. And I don't sense it, whether it is cold, whether it is hot, what kind of feeling it is giving me. I don't dissolve into that feeling. I straight away say this mic is good or bad, or I like it or I don't like it, or I want it or I don't want it. Something I see in the shop, it excites me. Our whole lives depend upon excitement. Every day we want something new. Every day we want a new movie to see. Every day every husband wants his wife to be new. This is excitement. And our attention is always excited outside. As we keep on getting excited, each sense organ loses its power of sensitivity. This power of sensitivity of each organ is the five Pandavas. And our whole body-brain system, when we are young children, we live in sensitivity. A child lives in sensitivity, but when he comes into the world, slowly he starts getting excited. I like this, I want this. Suddenly he sees something else. Again the attention goes out. He gets excited. But still in his eyes you can see that innocence of sensitivity inside. Sensitivity controls the five sense organs. The name of this body at birth is called Indraprastha. And the five Pandavas rule Indraprastha with Yudhishthira as the king. Now the Kauravas want to have Indraprastha. They want to take it over. But they won't attack till this power of sensitivity is diminished. They won't attack the young child. They'll wait till the child grows up. Only then will the Kauravas attack. Before that, there will be many attacks on the kingdom of Indraprastha. Indra means the 5 sense organs. Plus is they are established in their own power. The 5 sense organs are established in their own sense power. But each sense organ is slowly becoming weak because we don't train our children to just hear. We train them to hear excitement. Each child wants to hear something new. Each child wants to see something new. Each child wants to have something new to touch. He won't touch the same thing every day. We don't train them in sensitivity. No school teaches how to hear. No school teaches how to see. What is the art of seeing, the art of hearing? How to dissolve into the sound which somebody is saying. He may be saying the same thing over and over again, but the art of not getting bored after hearing the same thing. This is the art of sensitivity. Am I clear on this point? Am I getting clear? My wife may tell me the same thing, or maybe say my mother, she's grown a little old, so she repeats the same thing, right? Now, I may get irritated. Oh, I want you to have heard this. Why do you want to tell me? But the real art of sensitivity is to listen to the same thing again and again. Because words are just a part of it. Within the words is sound. Within the sound is energy. Within that energy is prana. All this prana contains vibrations. So maybe you're hearing the same thing again, but in sensitivity it can never be the same thing again. You get it? So we move the young child is born with this full power of the 5 senses. But as he lives life, he slowly learns the rule of excitement. Our attention follows excitement. It always goes out of the 5 senses. It goes with gravity. Out means down. It never rises up. Energies in us don't rise up. They always go out. Now what happens? When will the Kauravas attack? Now what are the Kauravas? Who are these Kauravas? We have 5 sense organs and 5 organs of action. The 2 hands, right? The 2 feet, 5 organs of actions and 5 sense organs. These organs of action and sense organs, they have 10 proclivities each, 10 temptations which take the attention outside, which excite the attention outside. These are the 100 Kauravas. Now the strongest amongst that is which one? Can you tell me? Sex. Sex will come later. Sex will come later, but what is it? The strongest? Ego. Desire. Desire, right? Desire. Okay, he said, now what is desire? He gives it the word Kama. Kama. How did this word come about? Why desire is called Kama? Kama means sex. Why desire is called sex? That divine wholeness, the God or the truth or whatever we call, he or she wanted to make the universe, so there was a desire in that divine wholeness to make the universe. उसको सृष्टि का सर्जन करना था, तो उसमें एक इच्छा जगी कि मुझे सृष्टि का सर्जन करना है। शिव को ये सृष्टि का सर्जन करना था, शिव में से शक्ति का जन्म है। तो क्या चीज है? उसके भीतर संकल्प जगा, the desire, the will that the world should be made, and with that the power of creation, the energy of creation, which is sex energy. Both go together. I want, with that energy of creation, desire and the energy of creation go together. That is why it is called Kama. Is this clear, or should I explain it in some other way? Not clear? Is it clear? Again I'll explain. That God wanted to make the universe. So he had a desire which we call as Sankalp, his will to make the universe. In the Bible it is said, right? And let there be the world, and there was let there be light, and there was light, and that is how he said each. So there was this desire to make, but to make it he needed energy, right? He needed energy. So with that desire to make, the energy was the energy of creation, to create. बनाने की energy. So वो energy of creation we call as sex energy. And on that desire and sex energy always go together. आप समझते? I go to a shop, I say अरे ये shirt बहुत अच्छा है, I desire this shirt. ऐसा मैं कहता हूँ, ये shirt मुझे चाहिए, I desire this shirt. So which energy am I using in saying I desire this shirt? Sex energy. Because God has made them together. इसलिए desire is called as karma. Every moment I am desiring. Can you understand? We are desiring every moment. I get up in the morning, right? And I go to have my tea, and suddenly there's something wrong with the switch of that teapot or something. So I'll say, oh, today I'll buy a new switch. Desire ho gaya. Desire. One desire has gone into the bucket. Right? And then I'll go into the bathroom. And yesterday I have seen close-up toothpaste on TV, but my toothpaste is Colgate toothpaste. So I'll say, this Colgate toothpaste is useless. Today I want to buy close-up toothpaste. Second desire ho gaya. Right? Okay. And then you will read, maybe you will read the Bhagavad-Gita or few slokas, and then while reading you will say, oh, better than that person, this person gives a better lecture, let me go and buy his cassette. Tisra desire ho gaya. How many desires do we make from morning to evening? How many desires? This is a desire-making machine. Every moment we are saying, I want this, I like this. आप समझते हैं मेरी बात को? कहीं so many desires don't come up to here. They are deep down within us, but it goes on and on. Supposing we all go to the garden and we see a beautiful tree in the garden, or we are sitting in the garden. Do you say, I like this tree, I want this tree? We don't say it. But if somebody has made a beautiful house and we all go to see the house, it may not come up to here, but deep down there is that, when you see the house, that I want a house better than this house. It is there deep down somewhere. You get what I'm trying to say? We are making desires each moment. I see somebody's car, I see somebody's shirt, I see somebody's computer, I don't know. It goes on. I don't see that house as I saw that tree in the garden. Do I see it in the same way? That is why all these rishis, they ran away into the jungle. No rai paas, no baje basuri. It's not possible. It's not possible. By running away in the jungle, the desire is only suppressed. The same eyes which see the tree in the garden, if they can see somebody's beautiful house, then those eyes are free of desire. You know what I'm saying? Right? So we are desire-making machine, and this desire is taking the attention out every moment. And in the morning, what did we see? The source of attention is within us. The whole art of Adhyatma spirituality is only one thing: finding out where this attention has come from. For that, the attention has to be turned inwards. But every moment, our attention is being excited outwards. And there are 100 temptations which take the attention outside. These are the 100 Kauravas. And the most important among them is Duryodhan. Duryodhan. Du Yuddham Saha. That fighter who cannot be defeated. Isko defeat nahi kar sakte. Who cannot be defeated? What in us cannot be defeated? Sex energy can never be defeated. You cannot fight with sex energy. आप जितना भी ब्रह्मचर्य करो, you can never fight with sex energy. It will erupt. Even Vishwamitra, it erupted at the last moment. At the point of samadhi, it came and said, "Oh, what have you done about me? This is not the way to do it. Go back. Do it all again." You get what I'm trying to say? So sex, that is the fighter who cannot be defeated. And he is the most powerful of all the 100 Kauravas. Okay. Now how does Duryodhan come about? Let us try to see. We'll see in two ways how this Duryodhan is formed within us. We saw that the child, when he is young, he is sensitive. He lives in this sensitivity. He's looking at a butterfly. There is the sensitivity of a butterfly. There is the sensitivity of a beautiful tree. And he says, "Oh, the aeroplane has come." There is the sensitivity of an aeroplane. For us, the aeroplane, it's not a big deal. It doesn't make any difference. This child, aeroplane has come. He lives in sensitivity. Now the Kauravas want to attack and take away Hastinapur. Not Hastinapur, sorry, Indraprastha. So now, the attack has to be done in such a way that they don't know. It has to be done in such a way that they don't know. Now, what happens? They wait. They wait for how many years? 13 to 14 years. A child, within him, the sex and function starts at what age? Around 12 to 14 years, the sex. Now, till the sex function has started in a child, it is possible to turn the attention inwards. Once the sex energy starts manifesting in the child, till then it was there. Not that it was not there, but it suddenly has become manifest. It has suddenly become apparent. Now the child gets more excited. Now he is excited by sex. And once he is excited by sex, the game of dice is played. And the Pandavas are thrown out of Indraprastha. Now the body, till we die, we will never live in sensitivity. Our whole lives we live in excitement. Till we die. We never regain the kingdom back again. The kingdom is never regained. To regain the kingdom, we must go into one Vas for 12 years. We must again get all the energies together, make new energies, make a new training of new habits to fight these temptations inside, and then come onto the battlefield of Kurukshetra and defeat the Kauravas. Only then is it possible. That is the what you call the journey of spirituality, which everybody does not do in their lives. Everybody else dies in excitement. Today even an old man is being excited. Many old people come, they tell me, I cannot stop this thought of sex. It goes on and on and on. This is all that we have done in our lives. Lived in excitement, die in excitement. Of course, a child can be trained before the sex energies, the sex function starts, but that is a different matter. He can be trained. So this morning we saw the sloka, Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta, Yuyutsavaha, Mamakaha, mine, I explained to you, mine, Pandava, Chaiva, Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. What did my people and the sons of Pandu? Now Pandu means white. Pandu means white. Why was Pandu called white? Because he was weak. He was called white because he was weak. He suffered from a shortage of hemoglobin. Pandu Rog. He didn't have hemoglobin in the body. That was why he was called Pandu. He went into the jungle. Maybe Vidur felt that if he went into the jungle and stayed in in a simple way, in natural surroundings, not with the pollution of the cities and all that. If he goes in nature, then he'll again regain his health. But what did he do? What did he do? Did he go into the jungle and what did he do? He took his wives with him. And in the jungle he was doing shikar and having a good time. He was having a good time. He didn't go into the jungle to do sadhana. He went to have a good time. Now he died while having sex. Pandu died while having sex. What reduces the hemoglobin in our bodies? The thought of sex. Every time I have a thought of sex, I have burnt up some hemoglobin in the body. I am going towards Pandu Rog. He was cursed. He was cursed by a rishi that he cannot have sex. A person who cannot have sex thinks of it all the time. Right? Now, Pandu also, white also means the inner intelligence. White means the light of the buddhi, the inner intelligence. Pandu married Kunti. Pandu married Kunti. Now Kunti was really the daughter of Vasudev's brother. She was Vasudev's sister, Vasudev's sister she was. Right? Kunti was really his sister. But in her young age, her father's friend, who was called Kunti Bhoj, did not have a son or he did not have a daughter. He wanted to have a daughter. So her father gave her to his friend. So she left her father's home and went to the friend's home. In her father's home, her name was Pritha. What does Pritha mean? The earth. Earth contains all the 5 elements. Earth contains Prithvi, Jal, Tej, Vayu or Akash. All 5 are in earth, Pritha. All the 5 sensitivities are in earth. Now, she left her father's home and went to somebody else's home. This leaving is called as Tyaga. Tyaga. Right? I leave. Aaj se main chai nahi piyunga. I won't drink tea. Tyaga. I leave. Don't what do you call, mix up tyag with vairagya. Vairagya is not tyag. Tyag mein piche ahankar hai. The ego says, I leave. वैराग्य में अहंकार का ही त्याग हो जाता है. आप समझते हैं मेरी बात? Right? If you come today with a good car to pick me up, right? And I say, oh, this is a beautiful car. So I enjoy the car. But then desire is just sitting behind. Behind my enjoyment, desire is sitting there. It wants to destroy the enjoyment. Right? So desire will come. Oh, tomorrow he better come in this car and pick me up. You get what I'm trying to say? So the minute that I am enjoying the car, what do? The minute the desire comes, I do vairagya of desire. I say I don't want this desire. I drop the desire. I don't drop the enjoyment. Vairagya is not dropping enjoyment. People think vairagya is dropping enjoyment. Out of enjoyment, the desire which comes has to be dropped. Otherwise you get it, otherwise you will get a holier than thou attitude. Say, oh, I have left everything. That is another ulta ho gaya. No need to leave everything. Leave the attachment to everything. Right? Vairagya. So, in small things in life, we learn the art of vairagya. We learn the art of vairagya. Right? You go, you see somebody's good house, the inner desire is coming somewhere, I want this house, vairagya. Small thing. Somebody comes, and you have given him an appointment for 5 o'clock, but he comes at 6 o'clock, you are feeling irritated, wo irritation ka vairagya kar. This is the real art of living. Real art of living. Vairagya. But tyag is something else. Tyag means I will not do this. and Tyag gives power. Vairagya does not give power. Vairagya dissolves power. Tyag gives power. So Kunti had power, and she had the power of 5 sensitivities, from which 5 children were born to her. These were the 5 Pandavas, the power of sensitivity. Prithvi was Sahadev, Jal was Nakul, Agni was Arjuna, Vayu was Bhim, and Akash was Yudhishthir. These are the 5 Pandavas and the 5 sensitivities. Is this clear? So he says, what are my children and the children of Pandu? So Pandu was married to Kunti, who was power, and Pandu was weak. Married to Kunti, power. And when power married this weak Pandu, the children who were born to that weak Pandu, they had both the sides, the weakness of Pandu and the power of Kunti. The weakness of Pandu means they lost the kingdom of Indraprastha. But because they had the power of Tyag, they went into Vanvas, again made the Shaktis, they did meditation for 12 years, they did rhythmic breathing for 12 years, came back and won the kingdom. So this is the first sloka. Okay, now just one small point on the first sloka, which remained in the morning. We said Dhritarashtra was the absence of attention. Attention is stuck everywhere. Now, if I keep on leading this life where my attention is stuck everywhere, what is the result of that? What is the result of that? The result is Duryodhana. The result is Duryodhana. Gurdjieff talks about crystallization. Crystallization, right crystallization, wrong crystallization. Crystallization means I take some water, put it into the freezer, it becomes ice. वो जमा हो गया. अभी मेरा attention goes out, it goes out. How does it goes out? Go out by the eye getting attached. We saw in the morning. The eye gets attached. Mind. Mera. Mind. The eye gets attached to things, to relationships, to thoughts, to moods, to ideas, to emotions. We saw this in the morning. Attaching the eye to happiness, to sadness, we saw this in the morning. How the eye gets attached and is seduced. This, I say, this is my happiness. I am happy myself, right? Now, if this state keeps on being done for a longer time, then what will happen? The water will become ice. Water will become ice. Then my attention is so trained to go out that sanskar, that pattern where the attention goes out all the time, it has become so powerful that now I cannot change. I cannot change in my life. Duryodhana, the warrior who cannot be defeated. Once the attention is so, the pattern to go out is so powerful, it cannot change. It cannot change even 1 inch. That is why he cannot give even 1 inch of land. Not even that much. That is on top of the point of a needle. Even that much he cannot change. ऐसी हमारी हालत होगी. इसको बोलते हैं गुरजेफ में. Gurdjieff calls such a person as irreparable machine. He cannot change. ये जन्म में कोई भी उसका शक्यता नहीं है. In this life, no chance. Is Duryodhana. So, our first level of consciousness we saw. Second level we saw Sanjay. Right? Sanjay, we said, is in retrospect. So from tonight, all of us will practice to be Sanjay. We will give birth to Sanjay. Tonight when we go to sleep, we will see throughout the day कि कहाँ मुझे दुख लगा. मैंने कुछ आपको बोला, आपको दुख लगा, तो कहाँ दुख लगा? Where did I feel pain through the day? I told you something, you felt pain. Somebody gave you some word or something, you felt pain. Right? Try to relive that pain. Sanjay's retrospect, we said 10 days later, the Mahabharata, after the Mahabharata, the Gita ji was. Right? Second thing, what will we see? We'll see with pain. What else will we see? Where all did I get? Angry. Where all did I get? Angry. Try to relive that anger. Don't judge it. At any time, if judgment comes, don't do it tonight, do it tomorrow. Just relive. Relive means, what does relive? Relive means to become sensitive. You get it? To become sensitive. किसको हम वो क्या कर रहे हैं हम? When we relive, what are we doing? What are we doing? We are making the energy of sensitivity powerful. Supposing I get angry on him, at that moment, am I in sensitivity or excitement? I am excited, right? But when I try to relive that anger at night, am I excited or am I making the energy of sensitivity powerful? What is happening? Sensitivity. I am doing one vas. One vas. The Pandavas are becoming powerful. Their army is becoming powerful. Reliving. I am creating a new memory we saw in the morning. A memory of sadhana. Okay? So, this reliving is Sanjay. So, the first shloka is Dhritarashtra Uvach. The second one is Sanjaya Uvach. Now Sanjay replies to Dhritarashtra what is happening on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. I hope you are with me till now. Yeah.
It's like action replay, like cricket educating last week.
Yes, it is an action replay.
Right?
Yes.
If I like 6 hours game, they put it in highlights in 10 minutes, all 6 hours. So we see our day's highlights and increase our sensitivity.
From excitement to sensitivity.
Somebody has been shooting on my knee whole day and that has been edited and put a highlights. And I'm watching my highlights.
Very good.
Right.
Sanjay Uvacha. Sanjay Uvacha. Let's say it together. Drashtava tu pandavanekam vyudam duryodhanastada acharyam prasamnamya raja vachanamarive. The Prince Duryodhan, when he saw the army of Pandavas paraded, approached his preceptor Guru Drona and spoke as follows. Tadatu Raja Duryodhana Vyudam Pandava Anikam Drashtava Acharyam Upasangamya Vachanam Abravi. We go by each word. Drashtava, after seeing. Drashtava, on seeing. Tu. Pandava Nikam. At that time, on seeing at that time. Pandava Anikam. Pandava Anikam. Seeing the Pandav army. Nikam means army, Nikam, seeing the Pandav army. Duryodhana, Duryodhana, Acharya Upasangamya, went to his Acharya, Dronacharya. Up means close, Sangamya means to meet him. He went to his Acharya, close to his Acharya, and said these words. Now in the next slope, he will say which words. We'll take that slope and then we'll go into this. Pashyetan panuputrana acharya mahatim cha vyudham drupada putrena tava shishyena dhimata. Hey Acharya, O Acharya, behold this mighty host of the Pandavas, paraded by the son of King Drupad, your wise disciple. Hey Acharya, Pashya, behold. Hey Acharya, Pashya, behold. Etam, Etam, see this. Pashya, Etam, Mahatim. Mahatim means huge. Mahatim. Chamu, army. Vyudham, the army is arranged by view. Kiss formation mean. What formation? Drupada Putrena, by Drupad's son, who is your disciple. Tava Shishyena Dhimata, but he is your disciple, but his own buddhi has flowered. So he has made this arrangement with his own buddhi. Even though he is your disciple, you may know how to break this, you may not know how to break this, because his own buddhi has flowered. Now we take both these slokas to see. Drona, Acharya Drona. Drona is that within us which is the basic law of the universe. The basic law of the universe is repetition. Everything repeats. The basic law of prana is to repeat. Prana, how is it shown in a symbol? As a dot and a line, right? It goes round. This is the cycle of prana. This whole universe is a product of prana, chitti shakti, right? So the basic law is to repeat. There is a center and everything moves around that center. What does science say today? Science says that after the Big Bang there were clouds of energy. And within those clouds of energy, after long periods of time, a center formed. That center had some density, and because of that density there was full of gravity, and something started moving around that center, and the first cosmoses were formed. Right? This is how science says. How do we learn in school? How do we learn in school? By repetition. How do we commit something to memory? By repetition. Acharya means he who teaches acharan. He who teaches acharan. Acharan means to put into our behavior, to commit to behavior, to put into our behavior. He who teaches acharan, the basic law of life. So, the Bhagavad-Gita starts with acharan. Acharya. Duryodhan runs to his acharya. Duryodhan, we have seen, is sex energy, the one who cannot be defeated. But when he sees this powerful formation of Pandavas in front of him, he gets frightened. Now what does it mean, Vyudham, arranged in a formation? What does it mean for an army to be arranged in formation? Supposing I come to your home, you will show me your home. How will you keep your home? How will you keep your home? One chair over here, one chair ulta over there, table be ulta, so many months of dust lying here. Is this the way we will keep our home? Or how will we keep our home? We keep it clean, tidy, neat, right? We will keep it in a proper view rachna, in a proper formation, right? We will keep it in a proper formation. We won't keep our home dirty. If I come to your home and I see the home dirty, then what will I say? Everything is, yahan sab asta vyast hai. Everything is chaotic over here. Aisa mein bol. Where do we live? Where do we live? Where do we live? In our house? Sure? Sure? Where do we live? Huh? Here. We feel we live in our homes, but we live here. Supposing I say, okay, you walk from your home to my home, right? We'll meet. You will walk along the road. Supposing it takes you half an hour, out of that half an hour, how many minutes are you on the road? How many minutes are you here? 59 seconds. You are on the road 1 second, or you are up here. Maybe 1 second you have seen, Colgate toothpaste yahan bikta hai. Right? Do we live in our homes? We don't live in our homes. We live here. This is our real homes. But can we see our thoughts? We cannot see our thoughts. We can see our furniture in the homes. It is tidily arranged. But are our thoughts arranged? Are our thoughts arranged? How do our thoughts do? Is there a proper arrangement of thoughts? If I go to a shop and I see a beautiful shirt and that shirt is blue, then what happens? Then I'll say, oh, yesterday I met him. He also had a blue shirt. There is no relationship. There is no connection. I'll say I met him. He also had a blue shirt. And he gave me a gali. Who is he to give me a gali? I have come to see the shirt in the shop. Who is he to give me a gali? What does he think of himself? Right? Our thoughts are an absolute chaos. Okay. Now, what is the quality of our thoughts? What is the quality of our thoughts? What is the quality of our thoughts? Supposing, like I see furniture, all our thoughts can be open. Like we can see this chair, if I can see your thoughts, what will happen? What will happen? How many times have we raped somebody in our thoughts? How many times have every mother said, oh, if this child dies? How many times have every husband said that, oh, my wife, get rid of her? Tell me, what is the quality of our thoughts? We live our whole lives here. In our homes, we don't live for even a second. But we keep our homes very tidy. Why don't we keep this tidy? But here we live in the gutter. Whole lives we live in the gutter. We don't know how to arrange our thoughts. We don't know how to arrange our emotions. Everything is a chaos inside of it. Now this Shishya of Drona, Drupad, has arranged the Pandav army into a proper formation. They are arranged, each emotion where it's supposed to hit, each thought. You get what I'm trying to say? It is a big inner power. This can only come from 12 years of Vanvas. The Gita Ji, see, when we are hearing the Gita Ji, we are hearing what Krishna has said to Arjun. But Arjun has 12 years of the jungle behind him. We don't have 12 years of the jungle behind us. We cannot understand what Arjun is going through just now. We have not practiced for those 12 years. He has practiced hard for 12 years. You see, so we have to understand that when he is a different person, totally different person than what we are. And so all these thoughts are arranged inside of the seeker. When we start moving on the path, God helps us a little. He helps us a little. What does He form? He forms within us something called a magnetic center. A magnetic center. What happens? I'll say, friends, till now, who were leading me on the path of excitement, taking away my attention, those friends suddenly start going away. And new friends who are helping me to walk on the path start coming. This starts happening automatically. What does this mean? This new arrangement is happening inside. A new arrangement is happening inside. Acha, let's take another way. Now, supposing every time I meet him, I get angry on him. What does it mean? That whenever I meet him, my thoughts, they move along a certain path, a certain road, and they get angry on him. It's like as if in the brain there is a certain road of nerves on which electrical impulses flow, and they get angry on him. You get it? And this is a process, automatic, it happens. But now, I have worked on myself. I do not get angry on him. There is a change. So now, the thoughts and the electrical impulses which were moving on a certain road are now moving on another pathway. A new pathway is formed in the brain. A new arrangement of thoughts happen. Are you getting? This is called the view. In the Mahabharata, every day of the battle, there were different views on each side. This is within us, not outside of us. How are the thoughts arranged? Supposing I get a thought of irritation, with the formation is countered by what thought? This whole science is there in the Mahabharata. This arrangement of thoughts. But our thoughts are not arranged. So, Duryodhana runs to his Acharya and tells him that Sishya of yours, that Sishya is who? Our magnetic center. Now, शिष्यों में magnetic center भले भीतर का विवेक अभी नहीं खुला, the inner conscience is not opened, but the magnetic center is formed. So slowly things are being arranged inside, rearranged. So Acharya Drona, repetition, and Duryodhana runs to him and he says, "Look at that army." Now, what is the story of Drupad and Drona? How was Drona born? Whose son was Drona? Son of Bharadwaj Rishi. Drona was Bharadwaj Rishi's son. And what is the story which goes with his birth? Time is nearly out. What is the story which goes with Drona's birth? Bharadwaj Rishi was sitting in Indra's darbar and he saw a beautiful apsara. And he felt sexual inside. So his sperm fell on the earth. It fell on the earth. It fell into a pot. वो जो pot हम रखते हैं on the windowsill and all. Fell into a pot. Kund. And from that Drona was born. How are our children born? Are they born out of excitement or are they born out of sensitivity? Born out of excitement. What is the real art of parenting? The real art of parenting is to give birth to children through sensitivity. To make the sex act into an act of worship. Where am I going? How do we have sex? Do we have sex like the animals? How do we have sex? The real way of having sex. To have it like a human being or to lift up and to make it into something divine. There's a way to make it very divine. It can be made very divine. You can arrange the room in a certain way. You can have a bath. You can do some mantras before entering into sex. And the whole act can be, the excitement can be taken out and it can be made into a beautiful dance of sensitivity. And from that dance of sensitivity, if a child is born with the inner, sankalp inside that I want to give birth to a child, then that child you will never have to say, oh, shut up, sit down, don't do this, study over here. But our children are born out of excitement and they live their lives in excitement. Then we say, my son is not studying, he's not doing this, he's like this. But how did you produce your child? Drona was a product of excitement. It was a product of excitement. And a product of excitement, when he is born, the sperm goes into the conditioning of excitement. Kund means conditioning. The word condition has come from kund, the Sanskrit root of kund, to condition, to put in a certain structure. Your structure. And how is everything structured? By repetition. You get what I'm trying to say? Dronacharya. Supposing you are learning karate. The karate master has not come. He was there in the morning. Right? You are learning karate. So what does the karate teacher say? He says for each, now you have to do it 50,000 times. Right? Then it becomes habit. Right? It becomes habit. After 50,000 times it becomes habit. Repetition. Just remember this because we have to kill Drona inside. That Drona has to be killed. But we can't kill him initially. Now, how many Akshonis of Sena does the Pandavas have and how many Akshonis of Sena do the Kauravas have? 11 and 7. 11 and 7. What is the ratio? 0.6. 0.6. 0.6 is called the Pythagorean golden mean. The Pythagorean golden mean. एक बार इंद्रप्रस्थ हाथ से निकल गया, फिर ये जो भीतर की सेना है उसके साथ लड़ने के लिए हमें कितना संस्कार बनाना पड़ता है? 0.6. और उसको वनवास में बनाना पड़ता है. Vanvas means don't run into the jungle. Wherever you are in your own home, find a small corner, find a small place and start doing your sadhana from there. That is our Vanvas. And in 12 years we will make this 0.6 Sena of ours. That is what Dronacharya is telling. Pashya etan Pandu putra nam. That Pandu who was weak, who ran away into the jungle to look after his health, who was always interested in sex with women. That Pandu, look, his children have built this Mahan Sena. Mahatim Chamo. Very deep this thing. I just finished this. Yes. Mahatim. Mahat Tattva. What is Mahat Tattva? Each word is so pregnant over here. Each word is so pregnant. That divine, it had this desire to form the universe. So, from that divine, the Shakti came, and we saw the Shakti was as clouds, right? And within the clouds, the first center formed. But before the first center formed, what was that divine? See, first, when the center formed, a certain direction happened. Till then, there was no direction, whether the clouds are going to move in this way or that. There was no direction. Just the energy was floating in infinity. That energy floating in infinity is called as Mahakal. My teacher called it as Mahakal. Here in the Gita, it is Mahat Tattva. You get what I'm trying to say? Now within that Mahat Tattva, he had that sankalp ke ye srushti bana, I want to make the world. There was that desire. So it had to take some direction. Unless it takes some direction, nothing can be made. So the first direction was a center was formed and something started moving around the center. This is the basic law of pran. Repetition around the center. Similarly with as the macrocosm was made, the microcosm was made. जैसे ब्रह्मांड को बनाया, पिंड को भी बनाया. अब समझते मेरी बात? तो ब्रह्मांड में जिसको महत तत्व कहते हैं, this Mahakal, the first directionless energy which was in the cosmos, in the human being, in the body-brain system, it is called as Buddhi. Buddhi means light. And that light comes from that divine fragment, but to take his light and use that light for this body-brain system, that is done by the inner buddhi. It throws light. We say, jara buddhi ka upyog karo. यानी उसका प्रकाश का उपयोग करो. बुद्धि का खुद का प्रकाश नहीं है. लेकिन that buddhi had no direction. The light had no direction. So a policeman was needed to take the traffic. That this traffic should go in that direction. This traffic should go in that. A policeman was needed. So in the Srushti, the policeman was that center where the clouds were roaming around. Similarly, within the human mind, within the body-brain system, in the microcosm, the buddhi was the center. The policeman was Ahankar. What was Ahankar supposed to do? Where to throw the light? To give a direction to the light. Where to throw the light? That was why the Ahankar was formed. These are all the inner instruments. So this Mahat Tattva forms the energy outside and forms the Buddhi Chamu. Ye Mahat Tattva. What does it mean? What does it mean? That inner light is there in this whole army which is there. Just now that light is not in us. बुद्धि का लाइट ढक गया है, हमारे भीतर नहीं है. हमारे भीतर जैसे बात किया, all the thoughts are going chaotic. But now that light has come out in the disciple. And he's saying that light is there. Mahatim, just not Mahatim means Mahan, that is the normal earth. Don't take the normal, because when the Mahabharata was written, Vyasji went to Ganesh. And Vyasji told Ganesh that, okay, if you write, then I can speak. My speaking is so fast. Inner sanskars are not covering the inner buddhi. The light of the buddhi is out. So, we just go through these two slopes. Drashtava tu Pandav anikam vyudham vidyo dhanastada acharyam upasangamya raja vachanam abravit. Now Raja is a very special word. Raja means consciousness. Raja means consciousness and Raja means king. But we will take this word as we pass on further. Pashya etan Pandu putranam acharya mahatim chamu vyudha, arranged by Drupada putrena. We just take the story of Drupada and fit it. Dhru means fast, Pad means feet. Drupadtal, fast, right? Pad means feet. Now both Drupad and Drona were friends. But Drupad became a king, so Drona went to Drupad to ask for a cow, but Drupad insulted him and threw him out. So Drona asked Arjun to go and win Drupad's kingdom. The name of the kingdom is Panchal. Panchal means that kingdom where the 5 pranas move. The 5 pranas move. And he won the kingdom, but Drona gave him back half the kingdom, but he gave the southern half, not the northern half. Southern half is the lower half. The half where the sex energy is. So if there is excitement, as long as Drupad is excited, he cannot win back the other half of the kingdom. This is in short the story. But Drupad did tap. He did tap. Now try to understand this story, because we all get insulted in life. We all feel dukh in life. We all feel pain in life. And all these are opportunities where there is heat is created. Heat is created. Right? Somebody tells me a gali, I feel apman. Heat is created. I feel heat is. Or somebody takes away my money, heat is created. Or somebody does not come on time, I feel complaint, heat is created. In life, there are so many situations where heat is created. Drupad got this situation where heat was created because of Dronacharya doing this to him. But what did he do with that heat? He went into tap. With that heat he created tap. What do we do with that heat? We burn away inside. We do tap. It is in our hands whether we want to do tap or tap. Tap or tap. Tap means to do sadhana. Tap means to burn in it. He insulted me, now I burn in that insult. I burn, or I use the heat of that insult to rise above it. Right? So, he was insulted, Drupad, but he didn't. His feet were fast. If you want to walk on the path of Adhyatma, you have to have fast feet. There is no time to lose. 70 years is a very small time to do what we want to do. We have to move like Drupad, create, and every opportunity in life where we get tap, turn it into tap. Don't run away into the jungle to do tap. There is no tap in the jungle. A waste of time. Do it in your home when the wife gets angry on you and you're feeling heat inside. You've not put your things over here. You've not done this, and you come from office and think you're a big lord and all, and you're feeling this heat inside. Use it for tap. Don't become tap. Right? He used it from tap, and 3 great children were born from this tap. He got 3 great children. The first was the magnetic center, Drishtadyumna, which arranges our lives so that sadhana becomes easy. He is the commandant of the Pandava army. He arranges all the energies inside, all the energies, which energy, where, how to use what energy. That is the magnetic center. The second one was Draupadi. Draupadi is transformed sex energy. Now, I think we'll take this tomorrow. Tantra sab suna. What is the meaning of Tantra? Tantra, what does the tantric try to do? He comes to the point of sexual ejaculation, but returns the virya from that point. Why? What happens? What happens at that point? When the sex energy is formed, at the point of ejaculation, or when the lady and the man enter into sex, at that point, it is not just the meeting of sex energy. At the point whether it is reaching the climax, the divine fragment, the inner Atma is sitting here in a small chakra. He puts his blueprint into that sex energy. You get what I am trying to say? Now what does the tantric do? The tantric comes to that point where he is forced to put his blueprint inside, but then he doesn't use that energy for sex. He comes back and tries to leave it. Now that energy, that sperm inside, it is not only sperm, it has the blueprint of the divine. You get what I am trying to say? It has that, so it is going to go back to find the source where it came from. The tantric knows that. That is transformed sex energy. One point of that energy belongs to the divine. The other point is excitement. So Duryodhana is only excitement, but Draupadi is both. One hand of her dress is in the hands of Shri Krishna. The other dress is in the hand of Dushasana. One side Dushasana is trying to pull, but he cannot pull because she has the divine blueprint is within that energy. This is transformed sex energy. Have I come across? Have you understood what I am trying to say? Is at that point in the sex act, this is forced, the divine fragment is forced to put his blueprint into the sex energy. It is a transformed sex energy through which a child is born. It is not just the sperm and ova which science talk about. It is a different thing. There is something of divine in that. You get what I'm trying to say? That is Draupadi, that sex energy where one hand is in the what you call end is in the hands of the divine and one hand is in the hands of the earth energy. So second, he got Draupadi, and that is transformed sex energy. The third he got was Shikhandi. Shikhandi we will take tomorrow. We'll end over here. Thank you very much. We've been sitting for nearly 2 hours. And we'll meet tomorrow morning, 7:30. 7:30. Thank you. Good night.
Yesterday, the last Yoddha we were seeing was Drupad, or we saw that Drupad lit the fire of tapa in his life, and the ghee that you put into the fire of tapa is your own emotions, and from that fire of tapa 3 warriors were born. So the fruit of his tapa, he got Drishtadhyumna, and Drishtadhyumna we saw is the commander of the Pandava army. Now once again we'll just go back to what this means. That we have a whole conscious mind, subconscious mind and unconscious mind. And this is full of sanskars. Now today, in today's slok, one word will come as Maharatha. Maharatha means a big warrior, one who commands 10,000 foot soldiers. Now we have to see how our sanskars or our inner patterns are arranged. Supposing I go to a shop and I see a good shirt over there, or I see something nice over there, and I'm attracted to it, and I say that I like this, I want this, but I don't have so much money in my pocket that I can buy it. So I come back home, I don't drop that desire over there. If the desire drops over there, then it is just a desire which has come onto the conscious mind, right? And it has gone away. Now, when I come home, the shirt is still with me. I want to have that shirt. So on and off through the day, my thoughts keep on going back to that shirt, that I want to have this shirt. So that desire is now going deeper. In English, we have only one word, desire. When we use Sanskrit, we say that what happened in the shop, जो दुकान में हुआ, वो एक इच्छा जगी, हाँ वो शर्ट के लिए एक इच्छा जगी, लेकिन वो इच्छा वहां पूरी नहीं हुई, उसको छोड़ा नहीं मैंने। वो शर्ट को वापस मैं घर लेके आया और वो मन में घूमने लगा। तो मन में घूमने लगा तो इच्छा में से कामना का जन्म हुआ। हाँ, फ्रॉम डिजायर अ डीपर डिजायर वॉज बॉर्न, कामना, इच्छा, desire, kamna, deeper desire. Now that shirt is not just on my conscious mind, it has penetrated a little to the unconscious mind. It keeps on coming in my thoughts when I may be talking with somebody else, or I may be doing some other work, or anything for that matter. But it doesn't stop there. And yesterday we saw how the energy of desire and the energy of sex always move together. We went into this yesterday. This shirt slowly becomes thick, so it comes to a state where it now starts troubling me. Till now, the desire was there. The desire went deeper, but it wasn't troubling me. On and off it would come, but I would drop it again. But now it is troubling me. That shirt is saying that at any cost, you save as whatever you want to do. This month you take a loan, or you don't pay your electricity bill, but you buy this shirt, right? So now it has started troubling me. Troubling me means that it has now made its own house in my subconscious. It has started staying in my subconscious. It doesn't want to go away. मेहमान जो घर आया था अभी वो घर में रहने लगा, अभी जाने का नाम नहीं लेता है, right? So it's staying there in my subconscious. कामना में से वासना का जन्म होता है. वास means to stay, रहना वहां पे. लेकिन it doesn't stop there. Of course, I don't think a shirt will reach right up to vasana, but there are many other things we could desire. I could fall in love with a girl or something. Now, vasana has two meanings. One is to stay, vas. दूसरा I don't know in हिंदी वो क्या बोलता है, but in गुजराती वैसे खाना वासी हो गया, means it's वासी हो गया. It's decayed. The food has become stale, right? It's become stale. Sure. Right? वो वासी हो गया. Means वो जो कामना था वो ऐसा रहने लगा, वो वासी हो गया. अभी वासी हो गया means it is putrefying. उसका अभी दुर्गंध मेरे जीवन में अभी फैलने लगा. It could be in some physical form, in the form of some disease, right? It could be in the form of some psychological problem. I may say if I don't marry this girl, I'll get depression or whatever, right? Or I could have thoughts of suicide or whatever it is. It has started staying there, but now it is spoiling the atmosphere of my mind. It is ruining the atmosphere of my mind. But it doesn't stop there. It goes even deeper. वासना में से तृष्णा का जन्म होता है. Craving, in English we call it craving. Desire, deeper desire, more deeper desire, and craving. 4 levels of desire. And our whole subconscious and unconscious is full of these patterns. We can't imagine what all is filled in this small head of ours. Right? It's full of these patterns. Now, how have these patterns formed? These patterns have formed through a process of repetition, right? I want the shirt, again I want the shirt, again I want the shirt. So, from just an ordinary desire on the superficial level of my conscious mind, it goes into my subconscious mind. This repetition we have seen is Dronacharya, repetition जो आचरण करता है. Which brings into acharan. Now that shirt is everywhere in my moving my hand, in my speaking, it's everywhere. It's come into my acharan. Acharan into my behavior. Now, to fight with all these patterns, we have to bring consciousness into the subconscious mind. We have to bring light into the subconscious mind. And that is not so easy because we cannot see these patterns. We don't know these patterns. So these patterns only manifest in our behavior. And the only way we can see them is that when they come out, when they start operating on the conscious level. Because once they are again in the subconscious, we can't see them. Supposing I get angry on him, right? So I get angry on him, I say that he has gone away, now my anger is not there. But once if I get angry, the anger from the conscious mind, it goes into the subconscious mind and it is forever and ever and ever vibrating there. It never stops vibrating. It's just looking for another opportunity to come back onto the conscious mind. Again it gets angry on somebody else, goes back reinforced, with more power, with more strength, with more attention, with more energy, back into the subconscious mind. So, how am I to be free from that anger? I can only observe that anger when it comes in the conscious mind. If I sit in meditation just now, how am I going to observe that anger? There is no way. I have to have some opportunity for that irritation to come out. Am I coming across? Okay. Now, when it comes out, at that point in time, I have to be ready to work with it. At that time, if I forget to observe, if I forget to watch it, if I forget to meditate at that time, and that anger hypnotizes me and I become a victim of it, then that's the end of the matter. I have not been able to do anything. So, I have to create another habit. Like this is a habit, I have to create a new habit, a new pathway in the brain, a new pathway of the nervous system where nervous energy will flow in a certain new pathway of cells. Different neurons have to fire in the brain so that when anger comes out, they are ready to work with it at that time. Say like my guru, I would say that I'm frightened of death or I'm frightened of dark spaces or things. People, we sit in meditation, we see dark spaces, right? So he would tell me that, okay, then you do one thing, that whenever you pass through any door, this side is life, this side is death, this side is life. Now, this is not something which I think about, it is something which I sense. So, initially, I will do it with my conscious mind. I will stand in between a door, like we have Narsi Avatar, in between the door, right? These are all very deep symbology. All this mythology is not just like, it's very deep symbology. I'll stand in between the door and I'll sense that this side I'm dying, this side I'm being born again. Again I'll go back, this side I'm dying, this side I'm being born again. And it is a practice, right? Now after I've done it, say 10,000 times, it sort of becomes like that shirt repeated 10,000 times. And from the conscious mind, it went into the subconscious mind, unconscious mind. So now this becomes a practice. Now whenever I'm walking, I just walk through the door, but this sensitivity automatically happens that this side is death, this side is life. And suddenly within 3-4 months, whenever fear comes up, again that memory, this is death, this is life, fear gets neutralized. As and when fear comes up, it gets neutralized. At one point, suddenly you realize now fear is not coming, the pattern is gone, you're free. This is freedom, this is moksha. Moksha is not some big anubhav you have in meditation where you see 1,000 lights and all that. That is just imagination. Right? This is freedom. You have been free. A pattern which was binding you till now, you have suddenly woken up from it. Now, this in the Mahabharata, there will be 4 words: Ardharatha, Ratha, Atiratha, Maharatha. There are 4 levels of warriors, and these warriors are energies and patterns which have been created by the 5 Pandavas in Vanvas. These are the patterns and energies. So we are going to come to that today. These are energies which have been created in one vase. They have worked on themselves. Like we did this door example. I could give you another example, that whenever I used to feel angry, my teacher used to tell me that immediately tense and relax the muscles, the first exercise we did today. So immediately anger would come, I'd start tensing, relaxing, tensing. Initially anger would take me away, right? But a point comes where now I'm holding it over there and I'm observing the anger, right? So this, you have to make a new habit to work with the automatic habits which have happened inside. These are sadhanaka habits. Okay. Now we'll just go back a little and then go forward. We saw what was Sanjay yesterday. Sanjay worked in retrospect. I got angry in the morning, but I relived that anger at night. Retrospect. But now I am ready to work with the anger at the point of anger. This is the birth of Arjun. Arjun means Ruju Tattva. Ruju means that which can be molded into any form, which can take any form, which is never obstinate about anything. Taral, which flows, that which flows, Arjuna. So initially, I realized that I got angry in the morning. Now I'm working with the anger at the point where it is manifesting. Now we try to understand this, that supposing I have a bank balance of say 10,000 rupees, and either I spend 1 rupee, then it becomes 9,999, or I add 1 rupee, so it becomes 10,001. Now the anger has manifested over here onto the conscious mind. If the anger takes me with him, if I become a victim of that anger, I do not observe that anger, then if I have a balance of patterns inside of 10,000, this pattern goes back into the unconscious, subconscious mind, and it becomes 10,001. But supposing I am observing that anger, then say if I am observing the anger, then in the light of my observation, which is consciousness, which is attention, in the light of that observation, the anger is darkness, the anger dissolves, the pattern does not go back. So I had 10,000, now I have 9,999. I become free of one pattern. You get what I'm trying to say? Now these patterns, to work with these patterns, I have to create new patterns, and these new patterns are of 4 types. Those who are commanding 10,000, less than that, less than that, less than that. So to work with a craving, a deep Trishna inside, I will need a warrior who is very powerful. He will be called a Maharatha. See, I didn't tell you exactly about craving, but craving could be that I to fulfill this desire of mine to have this shirt, I could even murder someone. I come to that state where I'll do anything, but I have to have that thing. That is a craving inside. So to work with that deep craving, and we don't know where all this is. This is all lying pattern upon pattern within our subconscious mind. So these are the energies and patterns which the Pandavas have created in their Vanvas. And we saw yesterday that the 5 Pandavas are the 5 sensitivities. 5 sensitivities. And Drupad is one of them. And through Drupad, 3 have been created. First we saw was Drishtadyumna, Draupadi, sex energy, but transformed sex energy, where one part of that sex energy is in the hand of Sri Krishna, the other is in Dushasana. Now, that sex energy marries these 5 Pandavas. So when sex energy marries sensitivity, the energy of sensitivity and the energy of sex, when they marry together, then sex energy changes her direction. Sex energy has been made by nature to flow out. But the minute it marries sensitivity, their marriage is done with sensitivity, then it starts flowing in the reverse direction. This flow of sex energy in the reverse direction, in yoga it is called as Kundalini. But maybe someday we can sit, we'll talk more about it. It's not so easy to understand, not what the usual yoga books say. Okay? Now, so the second fruit of his sadhana of Drupad, he got Draupadi. The third was Shikhandi. I said all this just to bring us to this point in Shikhandi, because there are many misconceptions about who Shikhandi really was, and especially in the Mahabharata serial he has been shown very, very badly. So Shikha means the top, and the one who has reached the top, the energy which has reached the top, the pattern which gives us the darshan of the top is Shikhandi, which gives us a glimpse of the top is Shikhandi. See, on this spiritual path, two things happen. One is that experience of the top, the truth. Experience of the truth does not guarantee that the journey is over. Then comes the dissolution of the ego. The experience of the truth comes when the ego is passive for some point in time. It can happen in meditation, or it may happen in meditation. Dissolution of the ego can never happen in meditation. You have to live life for that. This dissolution of the ego, Patanjali calls as prati-prasav. His last sutra of Patanjali, when he ends the Yoga Sutras, is Guna Nam Prati Prasav, the three gunas which form nature. This whole Srushti was made of the three gunas. They've gone back to their original state of rhythm and balance. Prasav, this word Prasav is very, very important. Prasav means to be born. The woman is going through labor pain. There's prasav. It is that coming. It is coming out, being born. In Gujarati we call prasang. Prasang, I don't know what we call in Hindi. Prasang means
Prasava.
No, but supposing I say some situation. A situation is prasang. What prasang in Hindi you call it prasang? Right. Okay. Some situation. So from prasav we take the word prasang, situation. Now, supposing we have even experienced the truth, what happens to the ego? The ego needs a situation where it manifests. And it will only manifest in relationship. If I sit in the jungle, it's not going to manifest. If I sit in an ashram, it's not going to manifest. But if my wife tells me that you're just a stupid guy giving lectures everywhere, don't think you're a big thing, you're doing so much of philosophy, then it will manifest. It'll come out. And at that point, that is the situation, the prasang. You get it? In normal life, now the prasang is there. It has come out. The irritation has come out. Now bring the truth in. Bring the light in. You hear it? So the ego will go back. Guna nam prasti prasav. To send it back to its original state. The ego has formed through millions of years, right from before man was formed on this earth, came on this earth, through millions of years of evolution. It does not go in one moment. It has to be sent back through that process of evolution. De-evolution, it has to go back through that process of evolution. So two things happen on this journey. One is the experience of truth, and then as you live that truth, slowly you bring it into the small situations of life, and the ego slowly dissolves. And it may take even 200 lifetimes to dissolve the ego. I don't think it's going to happen in one lifetime. Right. So, Shikhandi, the one who has reached the top, who is free from Dvait, and this is a pattern within us. Now, when we are born and we reach a certain age of childhood, certain patterns within us become very, very fixed. And one of the first patterns, there are many patterns, I won't go into them, we call these as attitudes. I have an attitude. Supposing somebody says that what you said is wrong. What will be my immediate reaction? No, I was right. So I have formed an attitude in childhood that I am always right. Then understanding comes in, oh no, he may be right, that is different. But this attitude reacts immediately. That is one attitude, right? Or we may have another attitude. I may have an attitude, somebody will say that you started the Gita and if in 1 year you're doing one chapter, then when will you finish it? So we have an attitude that in life, if anything is started, it has to be finished. When will you finish it? Right? But in nature, nothing finishes. It just goes on. Right? But we have this attitude that if something is started, it has to be finished. So wherever we see anything incomplete in life, we start feeling sort of restless inside, right? We feel a little restless inside. So we have this attitude formed in childhood that things which start, we must complete. Okay. But there's so many attitudes. When we come to them, we'll go deeper into what attitudes are, because we don't live our lives. We don't live our lives. We are sleeping in our air-conditioned room, and these attitudes have formed, and anything comes from outside. Anything comes from out. Somebody says this, I'm sleeping there, this attitude is there, it gives the answer, and I keep on going in my sleep. Now, one of the deepest and most deepest attitudes is that I am male and she is female. Right? It's the deepest. And we train. I've been trained from childhood. You're a boy. Why should you cry? Why should you do this? Go and play games. Why are you sitting at home? Etc. etc. Then when you start walking on the path, you start realizing so many things that, okay, this body is a boy, this body is a male, but what about the mind? Is the mind male or female? Or is the psychology male or female? And suddenly you realize that everybody is equally male and equally female. Nobody is male, nobody is female. Just because the outer covering, one small part has become male or female, we say this is male, this is female. But this attitude is formed in childhood that whenever I see a woman or I see, immediately I am aware of my maleness, or she is aware of her femaleness. It could be anyone, it could be my mother also. The first thing which happens deep down is I am male, she is female. This is one of the deepest attitudes through which we are never free in life. Truth cannot manifest as long as we are living duality. It is not possible. We have to be free of this. And it is very difficult to be free of this. Because we have to observe it in our daily life. And it can only be done between husband and wife. That is what Tantra is all about. Tantra is not about sex. It's about the relationship between husband and wife. To be free from his husbandship, to be free from her wifeship. Right? That is why we've been brought together as husband and wife. But whenever I meet my wife, I am always the husband, the male, and she is always the female. And I always react from that maleness, that I have gone to office to earn so much of money, or I have done this. You get it? And psychologically we have to understand that we are both. Only by being both can we be whole and total. Otherwise we cannot be whole and total. We are just one incomplete part of existence. And we have to practice that when I talk to my wife, I don't talk to her. I talk to the inner female. I'm talking to myself. I'm not talking to her. On the screen in front of me has to be the inner female. You get? Now supposing she tells me that all these things you put, look at your room, it's this, this is this, start putting everything into place. Everywhere you give such big lectures, if I'll come and show some of your people who are listening to your lectures, your room, then they'll know what you are. Right? Okay. So, at that point, I'm going to get irritated. Right? I'm going to get irritated. So at that point, she is not talking to me, bring out the inner female. Now, can I get irritated on myself? Is it possible? It's not possible. Right? I cannot say anything which can hurt her. It is not possible. Now I am reacting not out of my maleness, but out of something which is whole, something which is complete. Right? Similarly for females. We have to be free of this maleness and this femaleness which is within us. Only then will we move from Dvait to Advait. That is Shikhandi. At the point, at the top of the mountain, at that is Shikha. That is to be free of this maleness and femaleness. And it happens even with age, it does not go. With age, it does not go. Even a 75-year-old woman, if the sari has fallen like this, a male comes in the room, she'll immediately, this thing. That you can sense inside that femaleness and maleness is at the basis of our this thing. And this will not go by just sitting in merit. You have to work on this. So that is one of the inner patterns which the Pandavas have formed in their Vanvas, is to be free of Dvait. Arjun has formed this. That is why he's called Arjun. He's free from this. So that is, yesterday I told you that when the Gita ji was told to Arjun, and Arjun has worked 12 years. When we are listening to the Gita, we have not worked those 12 years on ourselves. So these three Yodhas were born from this power of his Agni, which Drupad formed, this Agni of dispassion, this Agni of Vairagya which he formed. If we can create that Agni in our lives, right, these three Yodhas will be born in our lives, these three warriors. Next, we'll go to the next sloka. Atra Shura Maheshvasa Bhimarjuna Samayuti Yuyudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharatha Drushtaketushchekitanaha Kashirajascha Viryavan Urujit Kunti Bhojascha Shaivyascha Narpungavaha Yuddhamanyuscha Vikranta Uttamojascha Viryavan Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarva eva Maharatha. In it are heroes and great bowmen, the equals in battle of Arjuna and Bhima, Yuyudhan and Drupad, great soldiers, and Virat, great soldiers all, Drushtaketu, Chekitana, the valiant king of Banaras, Purujit, Kunti Bhoja, Shaibya, a master over many, Yuddhamanyu, Uttam Oja, Saubhadra, and the sons of Draupadi, all famous men. So these are all the energies which the Pandavas have created in their Vanvas, of 12 years of Vanvas and 1 year of Agnatvas. Now when we move on the path, we have to create a certain center within us, which we shall call the detachment center. We already have an attachment center. We are attached to so many things in life, and yesterday we saw how the eye attaches to different emotions, how the eye is pulled, the attention is seduced into being attached. So now we create a new center within us, the center of detachment or the center of Vairagya. Asakti ka kendra, vairagya ka kendra. For this we have to create a new I within us, a new ego within us, the one who wants to do sadhana. Somebody has to decide, okay, I'll get up in the morning, I'll do this for so much time, then I'll do this. When my wife gets angry, I will do this. That is a new ego, a new center being made. We have to create this new I within us, who says that I want to do sadhana. There is one I which says at night, okay, I want to watch HBO, but another will say, no, in the morning you have to get up to do your practices, right? And there's always this Mahabharata going on between this attachment center and detachment center within us. This ego which we create within ourselves, we shall give him the name Arjuna. And he now has worked for 12 years within himself to create all these energies which we are now going to talk about, to create all these patterns which we are mentioned over here. Now, after creating those patterns, a time may come when he has to realize that, or we have to realize that even this ego which I created for sadhana, for my own work on myself, it has to go. If I hang on to it, then it will become a pious ego within me. It will become a pious ego. Or somebody will come and talk to me, oh, I am a meditator, I don't do this, right? Or I may have an attitude, a new attitude of a meditator. Ye sab tuch aadmi hai, main jara meditator hu. I may have a new attitude of a meditator. So I have to be very careful of that. So for 12 years if I worked, and this is not sequential. Even though in the Mahabharata it is mentioned as sequential, it is not something sequential. I can do it every day. Right? So for 12 years I have worked, then I have to go for 1 year into Agnat, to give up that ego also. Because I don't want to carry that along with me also. I have to give up that. The one who has done sadhana also, that has to be dissolved. So 12 years of Vanvas, 1 year of Agnatvas. In yoga we call this as tapaswadhyay Ishwar pranidhan. In the first day we talked about two things, karma and kriya. Karma and kriya. All these practices which we are doing, meditation, these are all kriya. But if I get angry on him, it is karma. It is not kriya. Right? Tapa swadhyay Ishwar pranidhanatva kriya yoga. So, this is kriya. But supposing I do these practices and from those practices I create an image of myself that, I have done something good and I have done practicing. People say, I've been practicing for so many years and I've done this and that. Say, let's take life. Say in life, if I invest 2 rupees, then I must get 2 rupees and 50 paisa back. Right? That is the law of life. But in sadhana, it is how I have invested those 2 rupees. It is not, somebody who has invested 10 paisa may get 200 rupees. And if I have invested 2 rupees, I may get 10 paisa. How I have invested it. So if I have an image that I have done so much, then I never get anything in return. I may do it for 10 years. And if I just do it as a young child, with the innocence of a young child, then I may get the return immediately. It doesn't work in the same rules of life. Right? So, in sadhana it doesn't work that way. So now, these warriors he has created, but 1 year he has gone into Agnatvas, that I am not the creator. Ishwar pranidhan. So whenever we do anything, kriya, we make it into Ishwar pranidhan. We give it. I am not the doer. And don't make this a thought. There should be an emotion inside. Right? So, the same way that we give it up at that point in time. Now, So this ego we create of sadhana, but keep on giving it up at every time, otherwise we will make a new karma. Karma means I have sown a seed. And people sow any kinds of seeds. Somebody may build a hospital. Somebody may build a school for children. Or he'll say, I'll build a home for the blind or something. But at that time, if I have an image inside me, oh, I am doing this, then I have sown the seed. You get what I'm saying? What seed have I sown? I am doing this, not the hospital. The karma means that the seed becomes the tree and gives more fruit. So what seed have I sown? I may build 100 hospitals, but if I have built them, then I have sown the seed of I. That I am a big Dani, I am this, I am that. Right? Okay. So, all these practices are only Kriya. We are not doing them. We are not doing it. Now he says, Atra Shura Maheshvasa. Atra means Samne. Shura means Shurveer, warriors, very strong people. Maheshvasa. Maheshvasa wearing armor. Mahesh. Vas means jisne vas kiya, who are wearing armor. Maheshvasa. Who are these? Bhim Arjuna Samayuddhi, who are equal to Bhim and Arjuna in battle, who are equal to Bhim. Now we have not taken Bhim, we've seen Arjuna. Bhim is a combination of the sensitivity of sparsha, sensitivity of the skin, sensitivity of feeling, and sex energy. Now how is that brought about? How is that brought about? Supposing I practice rhythmic breathing, slowly the breath comes into rhythm, and breathing is not just breathing, we breathe like this, the breath goes into the lungs, but yoga says that there are two nadis over here, pingla over here, ida over here. As the breath goes into the lungs, the prana goes through one of these nadis down into the perineum, and from the perineum the astral body breathes the pran, then it breathes out the pran, it comes back through the nadis, mixes with the breath and comes out. Right? So one breathing goes in the lung, one breathing goes into the perineum. From perineum the astral body has two lungs, Mooladhara, Swadhisthana. It takes the prana and gives it back. Now if I bring the breathing into rhythm and balance, the prana, because it is related to breathing, comes into rhythm and balance. And if the prana comes into rhythm and balance, the sex energy, the virya, comes into rhythm and balance. That means once the breathing is in rhythm, it's very difficult to excite me. Very difficult, because the sex energy, which is the most excitable thing, substance within us, has come into rhythm. It is not yet transformed. It is not yet transmutated, but it has come into rhythm. So this sex energy has come into rhythm. How has it come? Through the use of Vayu. Bhim is Vayu Putra. He is the son of the god of the wind. He has used Vayu to bring his sex energy into rhythm and balance. And when that sex energy comes into rhythm and balance, it brings a kind of softness to life. You cannot get angry on anyone. How can you get angry? A certain softness comes in life. And of the 5 Pandavas, the softest is Bhim. He is the strongest. But in the whole of the Vanvas, the one who took care of Draupadi, even her smallest needs, oh, this flower I want, go in that mountain and get this flower. And he went and brought 1,000 flowers. It's all very, very symbolic, all this. So he's the softest of the lot. If the 2 twins brothers could not walk, then he would carry his mother and carry both of them. See, so he had that softness in him. When sex energy starts transforming, it flows through the feeling center onto the skin, onto the touch, into the eyes, into your speech. It starts flowing everywhere. And you suddenly realize this this transformation has happened in Bhim. Through Vayu, the sex energy has transformed. So Arjun, we have seen, is through Agni, expansion. We saw yesterday Arjun is Agni, Ruju Tattva, which can expand, right? Through that he has brought about the transformation. Bhim is through Vayu, Prana and sex. So Bhim, these warriors are the equal of Bhim and Arjun. Either they have worked through through air, breathing, or they have worked through Agni. They have worked through one of the, either the sex energy has been transformed or the inner prana has been transformed, which is in the solar plexus. One of the two. The first is Yuyudhana. Yuyudhan is Satyaki. He is Arjun's disciple. Now the first thing when we walk on the path is that have we understood what we are doing? Within our emotions, do we really emotionally feel that this is the right thing which we are doing? इसको भक्त की भाषा में सूरती बोलते हैं, सूरती. वो भक्त हमेशा भगवान की सूरती में रहते हैं. And one end of his consciousness is always in that, in his Bhagwan, whatever bhakti he is doing. This surati is Satyaki. Bhim has worked on the sex center. Arjuna has worked on the emotional center, on his emotions. Now, within the emotional center, he has taken a small part of the consciousness of the emotional center and put it, the string of that consciousness, always in one place, who is one-pointed, Yuyudhan. Yuyudhan means the one who fights for dhyana, the one who fights for the ultimate dhyana, not just dhyana, Yuyudhan, the ultimate, the highest dhyana, highest meditation. The highest meditation is devotion. Devotion to that ultimate truth. Many years I stayed with Swami Ram Dulare Bapu. And Ram Dulare Bapu used to say one thing, जानना एक बात, समझना बिल्कुल दूसरी बात, पर होना तो बिल्कुल ही तीसरी बात है. जानना एक बात, समझना दूसरी बात, होना बिल्कुल ही तीसरी बात है. Have I moved from this janna to samajna? From knowing to understanding? What is the relationship between knowing and understanding? What is the meaning of knowing and what is the meaning of understanding? Supposing I say that these exercises are good for you and he tells you that 7 minus 1 is 0 and you've heard all this and you say I have understood. Then can you miss a single day of the exercises? Then you have not understood, right? Knowing happens in the intellectual center. Understanding happens in the emotional center. There is a quality of emotion to understanding, right? Supposing I fall in love with a girl. So I fall in love through the intellectual center or emotional center? Emotional center. Okay? So, what will I say? That girl is always in my thoughts. She's always in my thoughts, right? So, now supposing I'm very tired at night. आज थक गया, time नहीं है मेरे पास. I've been working in my office for 15 hours or 17 hours. I am very tired. I can't even keep awake for a single second. But at that time only she comes and meets me and says, let's sit in the garden with hand in hand throughout the night. Will I say I'm very tired? What has happened? I've fallen in love, the emotion. The emotion is more powerful than the intellectual. Similarly, when I understand something in life, there is a kind of quality of love to it. There is a kind of quality of emotion. It is not that I have understood these exercises, I have fallen in love with these exercises. You get? Till that happens, till the path becomes your first priority in life. Not I don't have time for this, and today I'll forget it, I'll do it tomorrow, then the movement from knowing to understanding has not happened. That quality of love has not come. Fir surti to bahut dur ki baat. Knowing is intellectual, understanding is emotional. There's a quality of love. I've fallen in love. Now, even if I'm working in the office all the time, one arrow of attention, one string of attention is always on the path. When do I do my exercises? When do I do my meditation? When do I do this? One arrow is there. I remember my girlfriend all 24 hours. I remember this all. Mr. T calls this as white hot heat. So this arrow of attention, which is always there on that ultimate truth, on my goal, that is a small part of the emotional center. Arjuna has worked on the emotional center. This is his disciple, Satyaki. Satyaki, that arrow of attention on the path which is always there. And Satyaki is always with Shri Krishna, whether he goes for the talks with the Kauravas or he's always there behind him. One arrow of attention is always there on Shri Krishna. That is from the emotions. We have to create this, to work on this. It's very important. Otherwise, all this which follows will not be possible. This is all in sequence over here. That is why Yoganand calls this as divine devotion. He calls Yuyudhan as divine devotion. Something which is created with it. Yuyudhano Viratascha. Virat means huge. Virat, where I become Agnat. They went into Agnatvas in which desh? In Virat. The 5 Pandavas, after 12 years of living in the forest, for 1 year to be unrecognized, where nobody knows them, they went into King Virat's kingdom. So Virat, the kingdom of Virat. Huge. Where I become one with the whole. Nowadays, as medicine is progressing and medicine has realized that a lot of the diseases which are manifesting are because of tensions inside, and these tensions come from the overactivity of the sympathetic nervous system. That I get angry on him, that anger is due to adrenaline which has been thrown out by the adrenal glands, and those adrenal glands are controlled by the sympathetic nervous system. But he goes away, now the anger has to calm. So, there must be a parasympathetic response. The parasympathetic nervous system must calm down the sympathetic nervous system. Otherwise, that adrenaline will create disturbances in my body. But the parasympathetic nervous system is not working. That is why we do the fifth exercise. To make the parasympathetic nervous system work. Right? So, if the parasympathetic nervous system is working, he goes away, immediately I relax. I relax so totally that all the patterns, all the remnants of that anger, they get calmed, they get neutralized. This is called the parasympathetic response. To be able to relax at any time in any space. Deep relaxation. This is Virat. Now the first condition for any situation in life is meditation. Relaxation, deep relaxation. Now, my wife gets angry on me, or there is some other situation where maybe my son has not done well in school, right? And at that point, I get irritated. So the first warrior which will come onto the battlefield of the mind will be Yuyudhan, who will say, hang on a minute. Your aim in life is that ultimate truth. Your aim in life is not to become a victim of this irritation, this anger which is coming. The first warrior who will come, right? And this irritation, this anger is one of the Kaurav warriors. We will see who he is later on because their names come later on. So one of the Kaurav warriors has attacked on the battlefield, and I have become angry. The situation is maybe my son has not done well in school, right? So now I am angry, but suddenly Yuyudhan, Satyaki comes. He is that emotional surati, that thread which always reminds me that is your aim in life, that is your real priority. So I'll say, I don't want to get angry. Now what to do? The first step is relaxation. Just relax in the moment. Don't do anything. Just relax. The observer comes from a different time and space. You cannot create the observer through tension. He manifests. So you see, everything in us has come from evolution. The observer has not come from evolution. Uska avtaran hota hai. He what do we call in English? He comes as a avatar. He manifests from up to down. Everything in evolution is from down to up. It tries to pull us down again. He tries to take us back up. So the observer takes time to come. So for that we have to hold the situation. So the first step is Viratashtra. Virat, to go into deep relaxation. Just relax in the moment. You can start with body relaxation. Deep relaxation, tense and relax the muscles. Go into deep body relaxation. Then move into sensitivity. Then slowly relax the small tensions all around the body. See, if we practice, this is not very difficult. There are a lot of tensions in our cheek, in our eyes, here, on the back, in our stomach. Just we calm those tensions and then we hold that anger, that irritation over there. Then the third Yodha will come, the third warrior will come is Yuyudhana Viratascha Drupadascha. Drupad, father of Draupadi. Drupad means dispassion, Vairagya. Vairagya means I will not become a victim of this anger. For what do I do? For that, what do I have to do? The Vairagya of what? Vairagya of what do I have to do? We did this yesterday. What do I have to do? Vairagya. That thought that my son has done bad in the exam. You see, it is that thought which is the nimit karan of all this. That thought is the instrumental cause of all this. May not be the real cause. The anger is within me. But that thought is the instrumental cause. So I do vairagya of the instrumental cause. I just drop it. I say, okay, he's not done well in the exam. Okay, it's his luck. I mean, he has come with his own destiny. I can't change his destiny. I try to help him to fulfill his destiny. But I can't change his destiny. Right? Ramdulare Bapu, every moment I keep on remembering him. 7 years I spent with him. Sab kuch niyojit hai, fir bhi uska ayojan karna padta hai. I used to say these small shots of his. It was so fantastic. हमें आयोजन करना नहीं आता है. आयोजन करना नहीं आता है. Ayojan means that I have 1,000 rupees in the bank, but just now I don't have 1 rupee to pay for my meal. And I don't know how to get that 1,000 rupees from the bank. Just learning how to get what is in my bank is Ayojan. What is Niyati? Niyati is what I have been born with. You see, because later on we are going to come to one warrior called Krupacharya. And Krupa means Daya. And Daya is one of the biggest obstacles on the path. Because we cannot see Niyati, we cannot see the truth. So we'll say, I am helping this person who is weak. I am helping this person who is downtrodden. Or I am helping this person who is poor or whatever it is. But he has got 1,000 rupees in the bank. But you have to teach him how to get the 1,000 rupees from his bank. Not give him 1 rupee so that he doesn't learn how to get that 1,000 rupees from the bank. We are all born with a bank balance. This is called our niyati. This is called our niyati. Niyati means our destiny. What we are born with. It's a very deep subject. Very, very deep subject. Shall we talk a little about time and space, then go back to this? It's very difficult to explain this. See, when Euclid made geometry, the principles of geometry, the first thing he said, if there was a point, imagine there was a point. एक बिंदु है, उसका कल्पना करना पड़ता है, क्योंकि बिंदु है कि नहीं है वो पता नहीं है. But imagine there was a point. And if that point moved, it will become a line. If the point moved, it will become a line. And if the line moved, it will become a plane. And if the plane moved, it will become a cube. And why did he have to say this? Because there are no lines in existence. There are no lines in existence. Still, when we relate to life, in the facts there are always straight lines and crossed lines and things like that. So, to relate, because our senses relate to three-dimensional space, and this is a falsity of the senses. It is not real. It is not reality. It is just our senses are born with this spectrum. They can only relate to this three-dimensional space. So, to understand this three-dimensional space, Euclid came up with geometry. Dot, line, plane, cube. Now, the cube, it wants to move from one point to the another point, or within the cube there are 2 points, and there is a movement from one point to the other point. This gives rise to the birth of time. Now again, supposing the cube was a point, and that point was to move, it would move in the line of time. Even though there is no line of time, this is again the geometry of time, it will move in the line of time. Supposing this is a three-dimensional cube, so I will say this cube has moved from birth to young age to, being a youth to middle age and slowly to very old age, if possible, and death. It has moved in that line of time. What am I saying? This point is moving in the line of time. But when the line of time moves, birth to death, it starts forming the plane of time, the eternity of time, everything that I have ever done. And in that, when we imagine this plane of time, it is not just the ordinary plane of time, because your plane and my plane and everybody's plane will be meeting. And all this is done in unconsciousness. Now, at certain point, I don't know if this, am I coming across in this? I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. As simple as possible. Now, at a certain point in this plane of time, this eternity, of time, if a change comes about, where the line changes direction due to some conscious act, then that line which was supposed to continue and meet other lines at that point in time, at that point when one person's destiny changes, everybody else's will change. This plane of eternity is destiny. It is my plane. And all of us are born with this. This is what I'm trying to say. I mean, there is no question of one beggar in the world. There is no question. It is not possible. It is only we don't see this. We only see what we are seeing with our three-dimensional 5 senses, which are only can see three-dimensional space. Acha. Now let us try to understand. Now supposing that plane of time was to move, it would make the cube of time. Now we'll try to understand what this means. This glass is here. This is any point in the plane of time. Now from this point I can draw any line. At this point I have a choice because I am conscious of the glass. So I'll say I'll throw the glass. It will break, or I'll put it over here, or I'll do something with the glass. Right? So once I have decided, I have drawn one line of time. I have drawn one line of time. Where are all the other possibilities in the plane of time? From that I have drawn one line, birth to death. Right? I have drawn one line. Where are all the other possibilities? They are lying there in the plane of time. At any time, if I stop again, I can draw on any other possibility from that plane of time. Only I have to be conscious at that point where I have a choice. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay. But now, some things may not be in the plane of time. I say I want to turn this into a glass of gold. Is it possible? It is not possible. Right? But somewhere that, because the thought has come, somewhere that possibility must exist. But it is not in my destiny. It is not in my destiny. It is in the cube of time which is beyond my destiny. But my destiny forms a part of that cube of time. You get it? But at least what is in my destiny I should be able to take. So, of all these possibilities which are available here, the best one is to fill it with water and drink it. But do we choose the best possibility? Do we ever choose the best possibility? We never choose. We become a victim of some place where our attention is seduced, and we move on that line of time automatically, and the other possibilities which we are born with, it is lying in our bank. 1000 रुपया बैंक पे पड़ा है, पर मैंने चुना भिखारी लेने के लिए. ये पॉइंट आप समझते हैं मेरी बात को? ये समझना बहुत ही जरूरी है. We have to understand that I have chosen to be a beggar. He is a beggar by choice. You see, he has come, everybody's eternity is full of so many possibilities. He doesn't know how to go to the bank and take out that 1000 rupees which are his. सब कुछ नियोजित है. नियोजित तो सब कुछ है, फिर भी वहां से आयोजन करना तो हमें ही पड़ता है. उधर से लाना तो हमें ही पड़ता है. और अगर नहीं ला सका तो आप रो सकते हैं. आप रो सकते हैं, लेकिन वो क्यों रोते हैं? क्योंकि लाना आता नहीं है. अपनी नसीब में तो सब कुछ लिख के लाए थे. यू गेट व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से? बैंक बैलेंस सबका बहुत बड़ा है. Because later on we come to this warrior Krupacharya. We cannot have sympathy for anyone on the path. It is not possible, because sympathy is ignorance. Ignorance that he has come with his own bank balance. Anyway, we'll stop over here. We meet again in the evening at 6:30. Thank you for sitting to us. Have a good day.